We are live.
Hello and welcome. I am Nosh, your GM, and joining me today are Ronki, Rigel Kent, Mel, and Nikki. We are playing an adventure set in the exciting world of J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth, using the very adaptable GURPS rule set by Steve Jackson Games. Our VTT of choice is Fantasy Grounds. Today's adventure is adapted from Free League Publishing's The One Ring role-playing game, and we will also beg and borrow rules from GURPS Dungeon Fantasy lineup. Credit goes to all creators of these works, including the Ringbearer font by Pete Clausen. You can find this and the previous session on YouTube and as audio-only podcasts. Links are in the video description. And if you enjoy our content, please like this video and subscribe to our Twitch and YouTube channels. Okay, well, first off, is there any character business to be done between the session and last session?
We earned points, right? It was 1 point?
1 point. 1 point only.
What is the survival for the this particular area?
Ooh, well, I would say it's probably plains.
All right, then I'm going to put a point into survival plains for Caledorn because, wandering and all that.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Anyone else spending their hard-earned point?
Well, I might as well spend it since this is likely the last session for this adventure.
Plus, you're going to die.
But I don't really have anything to spend it in.
You could
All
give
right.
it to me.
Actually, I do have something I can spend it in. I'm assuming that we can spend points willy-nilly. We don't need to have used the skill.
Yeah, I think that's fair. We're still in the setup stage for these characters.
All right, I shall spend my point on my axe.
Well, that seems like a good idea.
I'm done.
Okay. Cassandra and Hamlin.
Her combat skills are good. I'm not gonna put a point into them for that. Stealth is good. I think I will.
She will dither. That's what she's going to do.
I will dither. I will put a point into the dithering skill.
There we go.
Now let me. You know what? I'm gonna take a point in sleight of hand.
Ooh, that's a good idea. You did do some sleighting of handing last session.
There we go.
All right, and that leaves Hamlin. Anything you want to spend your point in, or are you gonna save it for a future episode?
I believe I'm going to save it because there's no way I could do survival because I didn't have a real reason for it. But I might put it for observation. But I think I'm okay right now.
All right, and certainly you've got once I have another adventure converted, we'll carry forward if everyone wants to, and we can tweak these characters into another session as well. Okay, let's begin by reviewing the spending of hope points. I kind of tweaked this.
Saying you're a tweaker?
I'm a tweaker. So what I did was I went back in and I said, hey, you can spend 1 hope point to gain a +1 on a skill or damage or healing effects roll. 2 hope points to give you a +2 on the same range of things. You can spend 2 hope points to turn a critical failure into an ordinary failure. 1 hope point can turn an ordinary failure into a success. And 2 hope points can turn a success into a critical success. And 5 hope points can change a critical failure into a critical success. It's a one-time transaction or opportunity. Again, the more hope you spend, the greater the chance you might get the condition of miserable. However, I also introduced, and forgot to introduce, the first session, I forgot to introduce the concept of hate points, which are points that the enemy can benefit from in the same way that characters can spend hope. In the One Ring, these hate points can be used to power fell abilities that can have an effect on, like, changing the outcome of a player's roll, an attack against a creature, for instance. But I think for our purposes, these are just again a form of Benny that the enemy can use.
Do all enemies get these points?
I don't think the very sort of low mooks get them. But if you're dealing with a sizable enemy, they'll have some degree of hate points.
So only the named characters.
I don't know about named characters per se. I'm thinking, I'm not sure that, for instance, like goblins might have them, but certainly larger, more dangerous creatures would have them.
Some of these. Oh, can hope points be spent after the fact?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so in that case, you may want to reconsider the balancing of the points, because spending one hope point to get a +1 and then spending one hope point to turn a failure into a success kind of makes the +1 moot.
Yes, yeah.
The same for +2.
Right. So you're suggesting just get rid of the one hope point can turn a failure into a success?
I would say make it like 3 points and go from there.
All right, we can do that. So if that's the case, then we'd sort of say 3 hope points can turn a failure into a success.
4 would turn a success into a critical success.
And then leave it
Maybe
as the 5 or
6.
6.
Maybe bump that one up 6 as well.
So basically, you're going to really drain yourself if you really want to change that critical failure into a critical success. Well, that sounds reasonable to me. Yeah, it would be. It would be. No, I think that's very reasonable.
From hell's heart, I stab at thee, and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we'll just kind of pick up where we left off, where I'll share
And
the map.
just to make my OCD happy, you should order the points so 3 goes before 4.
No, you shouldn't do that. You should mix it up even more just to drive him a little mad.
Right. Okay. I could tweak that later. Funny. Okay. I'm going to share the map, and where you guys kind of intervened with Jari, I'm going to say it was about here. So almost on the tail end of the sort of second day of travel. I don't know if you saw the ping or not.
Yes, you might want to drop a little token down, like the hiking token or something.
Ooh, do I have a hiking token? I'm not sure I have a hiking token. How about a big S or a not so big S?
What does the S stand for?
Well, it's just the token to say something significant happened here.
Cool.
And I'll share again the background lore that Hamlin had shared with you all. All right. So basically, we left it where Jari was brushing himself off and explaining what he, what he'd been up to in getting involved with these trolls. I think that's where we left off.
Yep, we had convinced him that we could fight and kill these trolls or beat the trolls, unless he's straight up lying to us.
Right. Okay, so what do you want to do? You're almost at your final sort of the end of the afternoon of the first day or the second day of travel. Are you wishing to interrogate Jari a bit more as you make camp, or what would you like to do?
Probably get the general tactical layout of the area that we're heading to.
Okay. And how are you going to get that information from Jari?
We want him to help us, help us to help him.
Okay. Well, he tells you that there are the remains of a watchtower in this valley. He thinks the trolls stay in there during the day. And he also thinks that if they have any prisoners, they probably keep them in there as well. But he never actually went into the remains of the watchtower. He says there's also the remains of an old homestead not far from the watchtower, but it is in ruins. And he said that there is a marsh and a lake behind the ruins, but he didn't venture to either of these locations because the trolls had nabbed him when he first entered the valley.
Okay. Do they have like a watch or anything?
He says he's not sure if they have a watch. The arrangement, he said, is to lead you into a sheltered gully on the way to the ruins, and that's where they would ambush anyone that Jari would bring them.
I'm just realizing my character, good old Caledorn, does not have anything resembling tactics. Hori is a straight up fighter type, right?
Yeah, he's
Does he have tactics?
a brute. No, he's a brute. He's not a smart brute.
I would cast more aspersions on that if Caledorn's IQ was not merely 11.
Well, actually, Hori is a little bit smarter than average, so he's a intelligent brute. Did we establish that we know that trolls turn into stone in the day?
Yes, because I think Cassandra told the story about
Right.
from her uncle Bilbo or cousin Bilbo. I can't remember which.
So
Wasn't there also something about the toques, one of them selling umbrellas or something?
Yep.
is it the day or is it the sunlight? So if we have some mirrors and shine some sunlight on them, do we turn bits of them to stone?
I think it's the sunlight based off of the umbrella story, right?
Well, I would say that you've only ever heard the tales that it has to be direct sunlight.
So mirrors wouldn't be direct sunlight.
Not in that case, no.
So whatever we do, we should do it after dawn.
Jari says the expectation, however, he says, is that I'm to give them a signal and that I'm to bring you into the valley when the sun is about to set. And Diarmoc says yes, and I would dearly wish for you to be smart about this because my family's lives are at stake.
All I can hear is meat shields.
Where are they keeping the family?
Okay, so Jari believes they would be keeping them in the remains of the watchtower, and the idea here, he said, is that I'm supposed to light a fire the night before we arrive at the valley, and that's to signal to the trolls that dinner's coming in the next day, and I'm supposed to bring you to the valley when the sun's about to set. If all's well, I'm to leave the sheltered spot and send a signal, and that will tell them to be ready to ambush you the next day in the late afternoon. But that's about all I really know about their plans. And Diarmoc says, Diarmoc says that this is precisely what happened. That Jari led his family into the same gully, and that's where the trolls attacked them.
Do all the trolls go to the valley, or do they leave one of them behind to keep an eye on the family?
He's no idea. He thinks there's probably about 4 or 5 trolls, and their mother. And she, he says, is a hideous creature, and he's only seen her and dealt with her once, and he doesn't wish to ever see her again. And that's about all that Jari knows.
Well, if we could lure all the trolls out, I could sneak in and free the family.
Well, at the very least, we should scout the place during the day.
Yeah, we got to get eyes on the terrain.
Wonder if there'd be a way that I could come in with him, and then you guys could be to the side and hide or whatever. Hopefully, I can get out of there before I get killed. But then they wouldn't see; they would just be paying attention to me.
Cassandra, if you're up to it, you're quiet when you move around, enough to startle me. You should perhaps investigate this tower, see where the family are, get that information first, and then we can formulate a proper plan.
Yeah, I definitely want to scout out the area.
I'm a sexy man, but I'm not quiet.
You're no man, you're a dwarf.
Well, let me rephrase that. I am a sexy dwarf, but I'm not a quiet one.
Well,
So-
I am pretty. Caldorn is pretty darn good with stealth, and he definitely wants to scout the area.
I don't recall. The penalty to stealth is your encumbrance level?
Well, let's check the old abilities here.
I believe that's correct.
Actually, I think it's your encumbrance level or half your DR or something like that. Or maybe the DR.
No, that doesn't make any sense because you could have magical DR, and then it's like, well, what's the point?
So it's in the chat window now.
Yep, encumbrance level.
Well, Cassandra looks a little dubious about the idea of trying to sneak around a bunch of trolls, but she eventually will say, all right, I'll do it.
No, I'd never send her off by herself like that. That's crazy talk. I'm the scout. That's my job.
Okay. So Jari's listening to all this, and he just says, there is one track in, or one path into this valley. It seems to me that you could probably sneak some distance in without being seen. But he said it is actually ringed by some fairly steep, rocky outcroppings. So he's not sure if you'd be able to climb these rocky outcroppings. But he said there's plenty of rocks from which you could hide.
Good to know.
All right. Are you calling it a night at this point?
Probably. You don't want to march in there at night, and you said it's like still another day away.
You've got about 2 days worth of movement yet to go.
Right. Yeah, if it's getting dark, then probably, and we'll have to quietly among the four PCs make sure that we all know to keep an eye on Jari to make sure he doesn't decide to change his mind and try to rush off and warn them.
We need some collateral just to keep Jory honest, and Hori will give him an intimidating look.
And Jari says, if this plan doesn't work out, I'm as dead as the rest of you.
Well, that would be all the more reason to warn them ahead of time, wouldn't it?
Well, they're expecting me to warn them that you're coming, or the people I've brought to them are coming. I think the danger is if I don't warn them, at least for Diarmoc's family. But at least you'll know where they're going to attack you, because the ambush is... I know exactly where it's going to happen.
That is not untrue.
Well, Diarmoc, of course, is still quite visibly upset at the thought that you could possibly be, mess this up in such a way that puts his family in danger. So he's not too happy with any idea of sneaking in, and sort of protests at that idea, but understands why you'd want to at least get eyes on.
Yep. Well, we still have plenty of miles to until we officially get there.
This is true, and Jari starts to break out the pots and pans and tent and what have you, and in an effort to ingratiate himself to you a bit more, he's going to start making supper. If there's nothing you want to do beyond set up and get camp going, we can certainly just move along into your watch orders. You want to keep the same watches of Hamlin first, and Cassandra next, Calidor next, and Hori last?
Yeah, probably.
All right. And I'll just again go to, is there anything you want to do in particular on your watch?
Make sure that Jari hasn't bailed.
Hori wants to tie a rope around Jari's leg and hold it like a leash.
And Jari says, "Oh, this isn't totally unnecessary. I I give you my word. I will not. I will not flee. You have my word. This is completely unnecessary.
Hori will just sort of go, and keep tying. Nice secure knot, so that if he feels any sort of tugging on the rope or whatever during his watch, he'll be able to, turn and focus his attention on Jari.
All right. Well, Jari complains about this and looks at the others with pleading eyes and says, "This is completely unnecessary, and I give you my word. I will not try to flee in the night."
Well, your word hasn't been worth much.
That does seem a bit excessive, though.
I'm just tying one leg. He'll be able to sleep.
Jari will simply sit there with his arms crossed, looking quite put out about the whole thing, and just kind of casts daggers at Hori, and decides to roll over in his bed and grumbles a little bit.
Just for an evening.
2 evenings, he says.
Good. You'll be used to it by the second.
All right. So, anything you want to do outside of hobbling Jari with the rope?
Let's see here. No, it doesn't look that way. Not for me. Although I do need to double check how that works. Boo! Lost an hour of sleep. That was a waste.
All right.
Before retiring for the night, Hori is going to check his bedroll for spiders and creepy crawlies.
Okay. Do you, I should just ask as a matter of fact, do you have knot tying, Hori?
No. What does that default to?
So, Dex -4, climbing -4, or seamanship -4.
Yeah, those dwarves, they're known for, wow.
Wow.
That's
Critical.
2 3s in a row.
Not
That's
even
a
Hori
critical-
can untie this knot.
Critically succeeds on his defaulted knot tying roll. That's awesome. So thank you very much for that.
Those dwarves are known for seamanship.
I guess.
Great sailors and all.
Okay, we're going to move things along. The evening passes without any incidences, and you carry on the next day across the plain, and you start to get into the hillier areas of the Weather Hills themselves. They certainly come into starker view as you make camp on the second evening, or the third evening, sorry. Again, Jari looks at you, Hori, and says, can you at least trust me? Can you at least trust me tonight?
I don't know. You should have asked me that question yesterday, not today, because we're a deal closer than we were before. If you were planning an escape, tonight's the night.
Well, don't make it so tight this time.
What do you mean, tight? It was perfect.
So make another knot tying roll, please.
Success
Okay.
by 1.
All right. Okay. So again, everyone gets on their watches, and Hori, when who wakes you up? That's the question. When Caledorn wakes you up, you notice that the rope you had tied to Jari is nicely coiled up at your feet, and Jari is snoring away in his fart sack. And morning comes, and you break camp. Jari looks at you and winks and says, I am going to be a man of my word, a dwarf of my word to you, my kin.
Very well.
All right. So you get about here in the on your last day towards the valley, and I said that there was going to be an incident sort of on your last day. And so what we're going to do here is
Orc attack?
Orc attack, right. I'm going to just do a couple of rolls here. Okay. So in the One Ring, they have a rule where you basically check to see if there's going to be an event that happens while you're journeying. I believe we had Caledorn make a roll in our first session to see if such an event would happen, or when it would happen, sorry. And because you rolled so well, it happened sort of towards the end of your journey. But the Weather Hills are considered to be what they call in the One Ring sort of I wouldn't say a bad land. That's maybe not what I'm trying to say here. What would they call it? They call it kind of like a dark land. So it's sort of an area where obviously there are creatures about and what have you. And so whenever you're in a dark land, your roll is not necessarily always going to be good, and you have to kind of take the worst of the two rolls. So what I did was roll a terrible misfortune, and this is going to happen to whoever is the lookout of the group.
Let's see. That's probably me, Caledorn. If we had an elf, it'd be an elf because apparently they have elf eyes.
Right. So what happens with the with a mishap? Let me just pull that up here. Okay, so a terrible misfortune. Something went so badly that the party is trudging wearily, and the target of the event is risked being seriously harmed. So perhaps the hunters were injured when a prey proved to be too dangerous, or the scouts suffered harm from, say, an extreme condition. Perhaps a lookout fell from a tree while standing watch, etc. So I'm going to leave it to Caledorn to describe.
Hunting probably makes the most sense because if you remember, I said I was going to be hunting to supplement our food supplies.
Okay. So what you get to so what you get to do is you're going to roll against whatever skill you were using. In that case, perhaps it was your bow skill. Would it have been your tracking skill? Whatever you think you would have been using as a skill to basically hunt.
Probably bow, because he's got to shoot the deer or what other animal he's going to be shooting. Deer aren't really on this kind of terrain, I don't think.
There could be deer. Perhaps there is a nasty badger that you got too close to and it went after you.
Badgers? We don't need those stinking badgers.
Mushroom.
Right, so you need a roll. Does it have any penalties assigned to it?
I don't believe so. But let me just see here.
Wow, because that's a really high skill.
Is it, hey? Okay, you succeeded.
By 10.
Okay, so what happens is, to the best of my understanding here, you didn't fail the roll, so you are not going to be wounded in this experience. However, you're going to take 3 fatigue points. So perhaps you had to battle whatever it was that attacked you with such ferocity in close quarter combat that you were kicking and what have you, that you end up suffering 3 fatigue points.
Noted.
So maybe describe to everybody what happens as you kind of come limping back into camp. And you see that Caledorn is looking very wearied.
Okay. Let's see. So let me think. There you go. So he thought he was going to take out a wolf, a gray wolf, and eat that. But the damn thing turned out to be a warg.
Oh, good. Oh, good heavens.
Yep. Eventually, it gave up, I guess, after he tried to run away from it.
Okay. Now, actually, I am just reading further in the rules here. It says that the fatigue points are gained by each player character in the company. So I wonder if it came back to camp, and actually everybody ended up having to fight this thing off.
That's interesting. I'll have to track down those rules and read them, see how I would do that.
Mm-hmm. But for now,
Yeah.
I'm happy. For now, I'm happy to say it's you who takes the 3 fatigue points. And
I don't know.
you,
I was going to blame the other dwarf and say, it. I thought I lost it, but the dang thing smelled his crappy cooking and came rushing in.
Okay. All right. You know what? I kind of like that. I kind of like that approach where this nasty warg comes bounding into camp, and everyone ends up having to take out their weapons and start attacking it. But again, it was a ferocious fight. And all right, everybody take 3 fatigue points on that. All right, we're going to say you carry on, and you get to the edge of the Weather Hills, and Jari says, "I am supposed to lead you up to the remains of this old watch tower that's near the valley, and I'm supposed to light a fire. And this is going to give the signal to the trolls that dinner is coming tomorrow." So he says, "Are you in agreement that I should light the fire?" And Diarmoc is like looking at all of you with the most desperate look in his face.
Right. How do the trolls fight? What are they equipped with? How do they capture their prey? Do they just come in and clomp them in the head with a tree? Do they, do something else?
He said what I remember seeing is that they each had like a maul, like a big hammer.
But he's led other people in here before, right?
And he led Diarmoc and his family in. And they had mauls. And what I remember them doing with Diarmoc's family is I got to the end of this in the sheltered gully, and he says they basically blocked off the gully from both ends, and then they came in and they basically snatched everybody up and put them into large sacks. And if somebody put up a fight, they smacked them around a bit, not with an attempt maybe to hurt them, but to at least have them stand down. And Diarmoc is just kind of tearing up as he listens to this recounting of what happened to his family.
Okay, so do we want to have them do the walk into the ambush, but knowing that it's our ambush? That's to the other PCs.
Yeah. Jari says, "Tonight I should light a fire, and then I'm going to move forward in the dark, and I'm going to make cry of a curlew 3 times, and that's to tell them that they are supposed to be ready to ambush the next day. But if I don't give them that signal after the fire is lit, they'll know something's off."
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm scrolling through my advantages and disadvantages to see what he thinks.
Well, I think it's a terrible idea, but what the hell?
We
should let him know the first thing that will be dying will be him if we're betrayed.
And Jari says, I have no interest in betraying anyone any further. He says, I simply want them to be taken out. You told me you could do it. I believe you, but I just want to walk away with my skin intact. Thank you very much.
This is a terrible plan. I say we do it.
And Jari says, if he looks at you all, he says, okay. He says, so can I make the fire?
Yeah, I don't see how we can't just follow that without it getting even worse. So they're going to come in to ambush us, unaware that we are planning on ambushing them.
You maybe check out their tower first.
And so Jari points to the east, and you can see what looks like a fairly jagged set of rocks, like rocky sort of, not mountaintops. That's too high, but like hills that end with really sort of rocky peaks. And he says, that's the valley. And he says, kind of points, he says, and you can sort of see where there's a path that just moves into the valley, but you can't see anything beyond that.
Right.
So he says, so I make the fire tonight, and then in the night, I'm going to head forward and I'm going to make out a cry like a curlew. And that will tell them that everything is set to go for tomorrow evening at the end of the afternoon. My plan was to just kind of waylay you here and, and not leave first thing in the morning. So that by the time we got to the valley, it was, the sun was already sort of behind the hills.
Okay. So with that in mind, if we leave first thing in the morning, then we can get there and set up our ambush. Good times. Good times.
So he starts to build a fire, and you can sort of see where he's built a fire previously for when he brought Diarmoc's family here. And the fire gets lit, and he just makes sure it's nice and big and bright. The sun sets. What do you want to do for the evening?
Caldorn is going to nap off and on, but when Jari does his plan to sneak forward, he's going to, stealthily follow him to make sure that this is still on the up and up.
Okay. So Jari isn't, in any rush to move any further forward. He's going to wait until kind of like the middle of the night or the very middle of the early morning to go and give his signal.
Right.
So you should also take another fatigue point for your travel for the day.
Yeah, but we're going to recover most of that just from resting.
True. Okay. So again, does anybody want to do anything between now and when Jari slips away, and who's going to go with him?
Well, Caldorn's going to sneak after him, yeah. I don't know if anybody else is going to do the same.
Cassandra will as well. She's genuinely curious about this whole thing.
Okay. And what will Hori and Hamlin be doing?
Well, Hori's not the sneaking type, though his stealth is pretty good. But he will say, scream loud if you're dying, and I'll come running.
I concur. I'm going to stay at camp, keep a fire going, and to keep an eye out.
Okay. So the middle of the night comes, and then let's say around 2 in the morning, maybe 3 in the morning, Jari gets up and says, okay, it's time.
I guess I have to wake up Cassandra. We're doing the thing.
She just gives a thumbs up and very tiredly crawls out of her bedroll.
I thought you were about to say, and then rolls over and goes back to sleep.
Actually, she's got laziness. She is going to roll over and go back to sleep. Technically doesn't match the description, but yeah.
Hobbits. Okay. All right. So Jari trudges down from the remains of this watchtower, the sheltered area, and moves forward in the darkness.
I am doing the same with a successful stealth roll by 3.
Okay. And he's making no effort to try to dodge or somehow get ahead of you. He's just trudging along, being very quiet. And let's say after about a half hour of walking, he comes to a tree, and he climbs up in the tree, and then he gives this call of like a curlew. I presume that's a bird. And he makes the cry 3 times. And
yep, that's right.
Okay.
That's what they sound like.
Okay. All right. And so Caledorn, you can see the rocky ridges of this valley now. And you can see that the hills are kind of crowned by these rocky outcroppings at the top that look actually quite intimidating. And if you want, you could make an IQ check to recall a little bit of the background of this area.
Is that IQ or area knowledge?
Ooh, what area knowledge do you have?
When I adjusted, I have Breland, Eriador, and the Shire.
Okay, so I would say it should be area door then.
Oh, good roll by 2.
All right, by 2. Okay. So now that you've seen what he's pointing at, you've heard that this has been called the Valley of Morgland. It's one of the many valleys in the wrinkled old skin of the Weather Hills. To the north, south, and east of the valley rise tall gray hills, stony and barren, and to the west are lower hills dotted with small thickets. And you know that, indeed, you remember, someone from the Rangers group telling you that there was an old mound in there that they used to call the Wart of Morgland, and it was raised by the men of Arnor very long time ago. And indeed, men dwelt there in the old days. Middlemen first, and then men of the West. There was a time even when great herds of sheep and cattle grazed there before being brought to market at Bree, or other towns. But war and plague emptied out the valley and the lands around it.
Good to know.
Now, if you want to make another roll for area knowledge for the Bree land, but this, all right,
By 2.
by 2, you think, now that you see this area, you think that there was a family. You can't recall who they were. It seems there's something in your memory about hearing about a family that left Archet, or maybe the Chetwood, to come up here to do some homesteading. And you remember one of the rangers who covers the Weather Hills and beyond sort of saying, like, what a crazy, unsound idea that was.
Especially now that we know there are trolls here. We'll have
So
to
this-
keep an eye for a old farmstead.
And if you make an IQ check to remember.
Apparently not.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, so Jari looks at you and says, that's that.
Well, let's get back to the camp and hope no one has attacked it while we were away.
Meanwhile, back at the camp, stone
Trolls
trolls
attack.
and giants are throwing boulders at the PCs. Anyway, no, so back at the camp, all is well. No one has been disturbed, and you come back. People are asleep, and perhaps it's Hori is just getting up for his watch.
Oh, you're back. How did it go?
This is the Valley of Morgland. But
Okay.
it went well. It went well. He made the proper bird noises.
Okay, so the evening or the morning breaks. What do you do?
We get up and set out.
So tell me, how are you going to approach this valley now that the early dawn has come?
Stealthily.
Okay. Who's all going?
Wolves. That was the plan, right?
I think we only had 12% of a plan.
That's more than we usually have.
Are you bringing Jari and Diarmoc with you?
Can we stop them from actually coming with? Because I could totally see Diarmoc going, I'm not staying behind.
I guess it's a question of whether these two are going to be a hindrance to you. I guess you could also just have them hang back a bit once you get to the entrance of the valley. It's up to you, though.
Yeah, I think Caldorn's our instincts would be to have them at least hang back a little bit, but go with nonetheless, because they're probably more familiar with the area than we are.
Right. Okay. Well, you make your way across some boulder-strewn areas and walk down to what appears to be the entrance to the valley, or the hidden valley. I'll see
Keeping
if
an
I can
eye out.
see if I can do this correctly. Hang on a second.
Uh-oh, he's about to do something.
Maybe.
Hex map. Hex map.
Okay, I think I did that correctly. Let me just see if I can share this with you now. Okay, what do you see?
Looks like a section of a path. The rest of the map is hidden.
Excellent. Okay, so you do see, looks like a section of a path and what looks like some running water alongside the path. And you can sort of see the beginning of some rocky outcroppings that are the entrance to the valley itself. And Jari says, okay, so you see that there's a path moving forward. I took Diarmoc's family up this path. A little further on, there's a hidden gully, and that's where the ambush happened. So
That's right.
how far up this path? I'm going to say you're just off the map. How far up this path along the water do you want to go?
Well, is there some way is there a way to get in there without using that path? I mean, how hard would it be to actually climb?
You could try climbing. I think it would probably be at a -3 to try to climb up those hills.
Okay. Well then, yeah, and I'm also trying to keep an eye out, like for scouts or lookouts or watch or whatever. Like, maybe if the trolls have one of their number out and about, keeping an eye, even though it's today. Surely there's some more caves up there that they could lurk in. But yeah, Calidorn's definitely going to want to at least scout forward a little bit, see if he can't find any ranch in this hidden valley.
Okay. Can you?
Wow. Really?
Ah,
What did I miss?
Looking for ranch in a hidden valley?
Yeah. Okay. How about if you just ping on the map where it is you would like to move up to, or can you ping?
yeah, I just have to zoom in to see. Yeah, I think definitely. Whoops, it's wrong.
So about there?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. All right.
If he can, stay low and move quietly and slowly.
Yeah. So you certainly can get to that point, and I will expose a bit more of this map as you do. Okay. How's that?
Yep. Definitely see more.
All right. So if you wish, you could make a tracking roll.
I could do that, yes. By 7.
Okay. So you can tell that this path has been cleared in the last few years. Rocks have been rolled aside, brambles cut to make the going easier. Looks to you like it was probably done by some man of some description. Doesn't look like it's been torn or ripped out necessarily.
So like the farmer guy that left.
And from your eye, that was probably about 15 or 20 years ago that this path was kind of restored. But it hasn't been used regularly in the last year.
I'm so juvenile.
You are.
What was that about? Sorry.
Well,
I
yeah.
see things in the map.
Oh, you see things in the map. Okay.
But definitely keeping an eye on those high points, because that's where I would station a lookout.
Okay. What are you seeing that I'm thought maybe?
No, my juvenile mind is seeing things in the map.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha.
Like there.
Right. Okay.
He's 12.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So, yeah. So let's see here. Okay, and just make a perception check, please, Calidorn.
Okay, let me verify. I don't have any bonuses. Nope, I don't have extended vision or anything like that. All right, let's see what we got here. By 8, I'm doing pretty well for the rolls.
Okay, so you see that I'm going to just ding it on the map here. To about here, you can see that, yeah. Okay, there looks to your eye like there's a partially concealed trail that runs parallel to the south bank of the stream. And you'd have to get down in there a little bit closer, but from what you can tell, you could probably be well hidden from anything else in the valley if you went along that track.
Yeah, but we'd have to. How would we get over there?
Well, you could easily cross the stream. I mean,
Okay, so it's not like a proper river.
no.
Okay.
It's definitely while it's certainly full, it's easily passed.
Okay, yeah, that's a
And
good idea.
your perception check also shows that there's been perhaps some sort of a habitation up there.
Okay, so with that in mind, I think I'm going to quietly return to the group, relate that information, and suggest we cross the streams and see what happens.
Didn't you tell us not to cross the streams?
I never said don't cross the streams. Of course, if there are man-eating and dwarf-eating and hobbit-eating piranha in the stream, I apologize in advance.
And can you just ping again, where were you when you wanted to look at that vantage point that I just kind of explained?
Probably about there.
You kind of went up there? Okay, I'm going to expose more of the valley to you. Hang on.
Yep, this is what the job of the scout is, to be dumb and go forward ahead of everybody. Are you actually typing something, Rocky? Because it looks, like you've been typing something forever, according to your avatar.
No.
How's that?
Right. I have to scroll backwards. Hold on.
I don't think I have a scale on this at all.
Interesting. If you start typing and then stop typing, it stays on.
Yeah. Did you just learn that?
Apparently so.
So I am seeing two structures. One. Why does that do that? There's that. What is that from? If I can tell from my current position.
Okay, that appears to be the ruins of what could have been a farmstead, but it looks like stone walls that have been caved in, a thatch roof that's been smashed in. Yep,
that seems bad.
That's what you think it is.
Okay, and then the other thing, I guess that's the old watchtower, like sort of like Amensur.
Yeah, that's kind of what you think it is. It's the remnants of a keep.
It is Sewell.
And I'm going to do one more thing here. One ping only. You see right there, I put a ping?
I do.
Okay. So there you see what appears to be a gully with really high rocks on either side.
Gotcha. That's the ambush point. So yeah, I'm going to retrace my steps, link up to everybody, make my suggestion that we cross the little river thing and move along that hidden trail in the hidden valley. Sweep up, maybe get to the ambush point. Although I'd personally like to investigate the stuff down here first, since if they're expecting us near dusk, then we've got most of the day to do shenanigans and hijinks.
Okay, so you relay that to everyone.
I do,
and. Yeah, Jari says, he says, no, I identifies that, you've got the gully correctly positioned, and that old farmstead, that was the ruins he was talking about, being somewhat away from the actual keep. But he didn't know anything about that hidden track.
Stands to reason. So since I made that the Breland thing, and I knew that the family had left. Do I remember when they left, or was that the intelligence or the IQ check that I failed?
No, that was not the IQ check that you failed. Ooh, let's see here. Does it give us any indication of when they actually came out?
Yeah, because I'm sort of wondering, trying to figure out if the trolls are actually been here longer than we thought, or relatively recent arrivals.
To your knowledge, they are recently arrivals.
Well, we're gonna have to kick them out.
During the day, wouldn't this be a good time to go and check the tower, see if we can find Diarmoc's family?
Yeah, that's what. But I wanted to swing over to that one area, that looks like it had some activity in the event that there was like maybe there's a troll in a cave or something, and we can maybe we can take some of them out, one by one, and then sweep around, hit the farmstead and then go to the tower, but use that hidden trail thing.
Well, you're the boss. Lead the way.
Wait, how? Okay, I'm not sure how I became the boss, but
Okay, so
it's because I'm the tallest, right?
are you all going into this trail or this little passageway that Caladorn's indicating? Are you bringing Jari and Diarmoc with you?
Sure.
Okay, so
We'll have to lift Cassandra up so she doesn't drown. Drowned. Good Lord. Words.
all right. Okay, so everybody who goes into that trail, I guess show me how far you're going to go up the trail first.
I think we were going to go over there and examine that stuff. You said there was something there that I had noticed. I don't remember what it was.
Okay. So show me where you want to take everybody on that little trail, and then who's going to go up and sort of scout out the top of that hill that he was indicating.
Well, I'll definitely go. If anybody else wants to go up the hill as well, they are welcome to do so.
Or he will tag along.
I'll probably come too, just in case.
Okay.
We'll take Cassandra too. That way it'll be all the PCs, and those poor innocent NPCs can, suffer tragic fate. And then we have to get blood-soaked revenge. Oh, wait, this is Tolkien. Never mind.
Okay. Okay. So you guys head over into that track, and then the PCs will go up to the top of that little hill. And when you get up there, what you see is what looks to be very much a lookout position. In fact, there's this massive, blanket made from cowhide, curiously stitched together. But I mean, it's massive. Like many cows were skinned to create this blanket, and it smells horrendous. And you see gnawed bones all over this little ridge area, and sort of underneath the blanket, there's a hole. It's a very big hole, and you can tell that people have been, or creatures have been resting in here. And there's even like tree roots that are lying about, and it looks to you like they've been fashioned into massive toothpicks.
Great. I'm kind of, which way does the river or the stream flow? Is it flowing to the left?
That's correct. It's flowing to the way you came in.
I'm super tempted to drag this blanket with us and toss it into the stream.
Now, as you get to this high point, I'm going to expose a bit more of what you see.
Uh-oh. I'm just totally thinking these guys are going to look at Cassandra like she's, I don't know, hors d'oeuvre.
She's too gamey.
Kind of like this map.
Okay. That's kind of what you see from your vantage point.
Wow. Pretty good vantage point. Now we have to look for more cows moving around. Really big cows.
So you see the what's called the Wart of Morgland, which that big hill there. Okay. And you can see some stairs going up into the ruined area. What would you like to do next?
So can we see in the hole at the place we're at?
You can see into it, yeah.
All right. Cassandra's going to go like lean over and take a really good look and see what's in there. Like hold her nose so she can't
Okay.
smell all the badness.
Yep. So it's definitely a troll hole. There's bones, sheep bones, cow bones. You don't think there are human bones, but definitely animal bones. And like I say, some tree roots shaped into massive toothpicks. Definitely some strong urine smells from various areas near the hole. And you probably now see some massive turds dropped here and there away from the hole itself.
Or in the hole.
And the fact
Nope.
that you didn't mention it, I'm assuming there's no troll there now.
No, there's no troll here. Definitely no defecation in the hole.
It's an invisible troll. Right. Okay. So currently my recommendation, I don't know how long it would take us to get over there to that farmstead, but I would think I would recommend we go there to scout that out, and then head towards the tower, unless we can find a way to conveniently ambush a single troll along the way.
Well, by your reckoning, it's probably going to take you all of, perhaps 20 minutes if you're going along that track to get over to the homestead.
Okay, that's not that bad.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're all heading back into that track, let's have stealth rolls if you're wishing to be stealthy along that track, but +5 to all your stealth rolls.
90 by 8.
Okay, so
Just by 9.
all right.
Well,
so Caladorn. Okay, so
in this case, since Hori failed,
Yep.
I'm going to use some hope.
Okay, so I'm just going to go for our listeners. Caladorn, he made his stealth roll by 8. Cassandra made hers by 9. Hori failed by 1. Hamlin, are you going to toss a stealth roll in there, please?
Sorry about that. I didn't realize I had that. Let me check.
If you don't, you can try to default it.
We'll just I didn't put the -5 modifier. We'll just -5 from this roll if you don't mind.
Oh, you've got a +5 to your. So you do actually have the stealth skill. If you just go to your abilities tab, you see you've got stealth there.
Well, you rolled 7.
That I do. Sorry about that.
Oh, well, so you would have had +5 on your 14, which would have made it a 19. And
Why wouldn't he just use the first roll, 7?
yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out how much he's made it by. That's all. So you would have needed a 19, and you made your first roll by 7, so easily you passed that. Okay, so everyone except for Hori made their stealth check. So Hori, you were going to use some hope to turn that failure into a success?
Yes, I was going to use 1 hope to make it a success by 0.
Okay, go for it.
Already done.
All right. So everybody succeeds in their stealth checks, and you move along the track.
Oh, no, my bad. I have encumbrance 1, so I'll spend 2 points.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'll need a +2.
Okay. All righty. So, yeah, I guess maybe with the spending of the hope points, I guess what we should say is you have to make a decision before you roll if you're doing the +1 or the +2. And then if you decide not to commit hope points and you still fail, that's when you'd have to spend points to turn the failure to success. I think I'm correct in that.
Okay, so how many points? It would be 3 points to turn a failure to success.
I'm just checking. So it would be 3 hope points to turn a failure into a success.
All right, then I spend 3.
Okay. So you move along the track, and as you move along the track, you come to the end of it about here, and you can see the ruins of the homestead. You can see that there's a bit of a lake, and I guess the question is do you want to cross the ground to get to the homestead, because you'll be exposing yourself a little bit in the open there?
Yeah. Let's see how we're going to do that. So I think probably break right and curl around and try to minimize the level of exposure.
Okay. As you do that, okay, let's have stealth rolls again. But this time you're just going to make a basic stealth check.
By 5.
By 0.
By 0. Okay.
By 1.
All right. So you managed to shuffle off over to the area where Caladorn suggested, and you kind of break through some trees there, right here, some trees, and you can see the ruins of definitely what is now pretty clearly a ruined farmstead.
Very sad.
So it looks like it was very well built when it was, with a sturdy stone wall and thatched roofs, but any doors were smashed in. The thatch was torn through.
Okay, so I'm going to do a tracking roll to see if I can determine how long ago this was bashed in.
Okay.
Ooh. By 7.
Seated by 7. So, you think that this happened probably like a month ago? Yeah, maybe about a month ago.
I know tracking has
maybe
a whole crappy bunch of modifiers. Let me look at that.
You also notice something else.
Uh-oh.
You notice humanoid feet moving from the tree line to the homestead and back, and those tracks look very fresh.
Ooh, a survivor. I think we have a survivor, everyone.
I don't know why, but when you said that, I just had an image of Warcraft, a peon going, "Job's done."
I think we're going to find Newt. They come out at night mostly.
Is anyone looking around the rest of this valley now? Looking at the wart, the ruins, or are you kind of all focused on the farmstead?
Well, Hori will be looking around. He's a little wary.
Okay.
Cassandra will be poking through the actual farmstead ruins.
Okay.
She's looking to see if there's anything interesting to find and keep.
Okay. If anyone's looking directly at the wart or the mound there, but I'm also going to show you now the rest of this water body.
Is that a raft?
It does look like a raft.
What you see is a raft in the middle of that lake, and everybody who is going to be looking that direction, because that's what's obviously caught your eye, make a perception check at +2, please.
Fail by 2.
Okay. Anybody else looking at the raft area?
Yeah, I probably will eventually. Let's see what mine result will be.
Okay, we had success by 3 for Hamlin and success by 5 for Caladorn. Caladorn and Hamlin, there are people on that raft, and they don't look like they're there because they're joyriding. You can't quite make out how many there are.
That's interesting.
And Diarmoc has not looked over in that direction yet.
Huh. So it's like a floating prison barge.
And is anyone scouting out the wart and the ruins themselves?
The wart, not yet.
Okay.
We were planning on going over there, but things may have altered slightly. I'm mostly looking around to see if I can't find the survivor who I think is around here.
Okay. Are you following Cassandra to the ruins directly, or are you just kind of skirting around the outside?
No, because you said they were going back and forth between the ruins and the farmhouse ruins and the little tree line. I was probably going to go to the tree line.
Okay. So you go to the tree line and can see that these tracks are probably of an adolescent. And
it is Newt.
And Cassandra, you are looking at the ruins directly, correct?
Yeah, she's actually going to start poking through them to look for anything that might be interesting to keep because
Okay.
kleptomania.
Okay, you notice that there are, you can tell that there's a cellar under these ruins.
Ooh. And she'll like kind of look over her shoulder. I think I found something. It looks like a cellar. And she'll start making her way over to it.
Oh, there could be wine.
There could
Okay.
be food.
All right.
There could be dragons.
And Diarmoc, he starts to move over to the ruins, and then his eye catches the raft in the lake. And he says, are there people on that raft?
Maybe.
And he
You're
starts
gonna have to
walking.
admit, do not go
He
over
starts
there.
he starts walking towards the edge of the farmstead to get a better look.
Hamlin, grab him.
All right. Make a dex check, please. Or a brawling, whichever, as you try to grapple him.
So it would be Dex or wrestling.
You wanted Hamlin? Okay, hang on.
Well,
Hamlin
I think you were the only one that was not in the farmhouse.
Yeah, no problem. Just give me 1 second. I'm on the skills thing.
So if you don't have
recognize that
wrestling,
noise.
if you don't have wrestling, it would be a dex check, I believe.
Yeah, I don't. I was checking my skills quick. Let me do a dex check. Yeah.
Okay. So you
Very
grab, yeah, very nice. So you very deftly grab a Diarmoc, and he stops, and he goes, I think that's my family. I think that's my family. And he is tugging at you to let him go. Let me go. That my family's on that raft. My family's on that raft.
I suspect we're gonna have to clock him.
Yeah, tell him he needs to. You got to be quiet. Your family's gonna be even more at harm if the trolls hear you. Hush.
And, okay. All right. He let's see here. He kind of resists at first, and then he quiets down, but his attention is just focused on that raft. Who's going over to check out the cellars?
Me.
Ori.
Okay. So once you get over to where the cellars are, yeah,
What
you
are they
can see
selling?
you can see that there is some crude sort of like a ladder going down.
Ori
It's dark,
will
right?
he'll check it
Looks
for
pretty sturdy.
sturdiness, and then if it's sturdy, he'll go.
Okay. So you start climbing down, and then you kind of hear this young female voice call out, are you here to rescue us?
Are you German?
Ori will be startled.
I told everybody that I thought there was a survivor here.
He goes, "Ah, damn it. No wine, just a girl."
And you see this gal come out of the
She's gonna
shadows.
look like Newt. She's gonna look like Newt. That's not very well. It's sort of Newt-like.
No cat.
No cat, just a 8-year-old girl, maybe 9. Are you here to save us? You're the first people I've seen. Are you here to save us? I mean, I guess are you here to save me?
Come on,
Ori
Jess.
says, "There's a girl here. Yes, we're here to save you."
Are the trolls gone? I didn't hear any noises. But are they? Is it safe?
It's safe for the moment, but the trolls are still here.
You're a dwarf, right? And she looks up. Is that a hobbit?
No, that's Cassandra.
So Cassandra, she's looking up at you quite now, fascinated.
Cassandra's not just, she's worse than a hobbit. She's a toque.
So Cassandra will be like, "Oh, you've met hobbits before?"
No, I never have. I've just heard about them in stories. Are you from a place called the Shire?
I am.
Oh,
Where are you from?
Well, here I guess my family moved here a few years ago, and then the trolls came.
So Cassandra will kind of look over her shoulder and say, Galadorn, there's somebody down here.
Ah, the survivor. I was thinking she was in the wood line.
Climb up here, girl. I'll
So
help you up.
she's very tentative, very hesitant, but she comes up, and then as soon as she sees the wart and the ruins, she quickly ducks behind like a piece of wreckage from the house, and she says, "You should all be getting down. You should all be hiding. They can see you."
Definitely gonna follow suit with that. Crouch.
I want to choose to fail that one.
Where are they?
They're underneath the ruins.
Ooh.
And then she looks over and says, "Oh, he's taken them to her raft. Oh, that's not good."
Why is that not good?
Well, I think she just means to play with them before she kills them. It'd be kinder if she killed them.
This would be the mother?
Yes. She's a horrible creature. She's in that lake, I think.
Wait, trolls can swim?
Well, this one can. I think I've seen her go into it and come out to check on the others, but she seems to stay in the lake a lot, especially in the daytime.
I'm just going to check this cellar, make sure there's no other survivors.
So you give it a good look, and there's nothing in here except what this girl has been keeping aside, which you can see she's got some berries, and she's really been subsistence eating.
Oh, in that case, Caladorn is absolutely going to give her some of it, the food that he has.
And she just tears into it. She is so hungry. And she looks at the hobbit. She goes, "Your name is Cassandra?"
Mm-hmm. What's yours?
I'm Silda Heather.
Would that name mean anything?
No.
And it's just you, or do you have family out on the raft?
And that's not my family. And then she, is Diarmoc anywhere around?
Yeah, he's over there with Hamlin. Maybe drag them over.
There. Now, can you see her name?
Yes.
Yes.
Figure out this not identified.
Yeah. I seem to remember it's kind of backwards.
So she says, "My name's Silda, and my family, the trolls came and took them all." And she said, I was out gathering firewood, and she said the trolls came out of the shadows, and I watched as they smashed into our house and captured my family. So I kind of waited until dawn because I knew that the stories of trolls and sunlight, but in the night air, I could hear the screaming as they killed my family, and then I could smell. There was a roasting. Oh, it was horrible.
I'm so very sorry to hear that.
Is it true
we'll
that
have to get you out of here?
Is it true that Brie is a safe place? I've heard that it's a wondrous city.
Well, I would not call it a city, but safe it certainly is for the time being.
Well, I've just not been able to escape. I'm so glad you're here. Can we go?
We have to get those people off that raft, and ideally, we need to stop these trolls.
I thought you were going to say that. I understand.
Is that a boat? I have zoomed in. No, that's not a boat. What is that?
Are you asking this as a player, or are you pointing?
Yeah, as a player, I had zoomed in on it, and it looks. I thought it was a boat, but when I zoom in on it, it looks more like a rock.
So, Silda says, she says, well, you can try to get those people off the raft, but I don't know that she's in that lake. I know she is. I don't know where her sons are, but I suspect they're in a hall on the bottom of the ruins. She says, and she points over to what you were looking at, Rigel, and she says, "There's a boat hidden in that area right over there. My brothers built it."
Well, we don't. I don't know if any of us even have appropriate skills to use a boat. I have swimming, but I don't want to use swimming if there's a underwater sea troll.
I also know a secret way into the hall. below the ruins.
That's very interesting. You've been very curious.
I guess I have been, but I've also been doing what I can in the day to survive, and they just don't come out in the light.
All right, so we have some options, people, but I would like to get them off that raft and onto shore first.
Diarmoc. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Cassandra.
So is there a way to tell like about how far out into the lake they are?
Oh, well, let's see here. Yeah, it's too bad they don't actually have a a scale on the actual module, but
Yeah, because the raft size in relation to like the ruins is a little odd.
That's a
Oh,
very,
for sure.
very large raft.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'm just going to. I mean, again, unfortunately, there isn't a a scale at all.
Well, talking
The-
out loud, we're going to blow it. We don't want to blow it. Not that I don't want to help these people, but we're going to blow the mission potentially.
You could do a scale, determine how big the river is, set the scale to that, and then that might give you an idea of what the lake size is.
So I would say you're looking at about 20, 15, 20, 25 yards to that raft.
So it's a good little jaunt.
How do you mean failing the mission? The objective is to get the family, isn't it? That's the primary objective, with the immediate secondary being kill all the trolls.
Diarmoc says, I whatever we do, I just want to make sure my family's safe. And Stilda says, that boat can take you to the raft, but she's under the water there. I know she is.
How do you get that away then? How
Well,
do they
we
get
would-
how do they get the raft into the boat or into the lake? That's probably to Silda.
All I know is that I presume she built it. I presume they moved them at night.
She's not seen it. Okay. Okay. So you were going to say
Well.
something, Ronky?
We do have one advantage. The brothers, if they are held up in the tower, they'll be unable to communicate to their mother in the lake. I'm assuming. She will assume that this evening the plan is to ambush us, so she will leave the lake to do that. So we arrange to perhaps, as dangerous as it might be, to combat the brothers in the tower, slay them, and then when the mother, when she shows, I guess she will gather her boys to go on the ambush. That's when we launch the boat and rescue the family.
How many brothers are there? Asking Silda if she knows.
I think there are 4 of them. Yes, 4. They all sort of look alike, but 4, I'm sure of it.
This is going to be a rough fight. So, Ronky, you're saying we go into the go try to take out the other 4 trolls first, and then go for the lake.
Yes.
How deep is the water? Does the girl know how deep the lake is?
I've never swam in that lake, but I believe it's very, very deep. I've never seen the bottom of it. It's really filled with a lot of weeds.
See, I would probably want to try to get the one in the lake first, because she's by herself. Granted, she's in the water.
Well, we can't do anything about that until she leaves the water. Us dwarves, we are natural sprinters, but we're not swimmers.
Silda says, I'm not even sure if she'll come out, to be honest. I think she expects the others to do the dirty work. I could be wrong, though.
So, what does Hamlin and Cassandra think?
So when the brothers come down to the lake, how do they get the people from the raft to the shore? Or does Mother come out and do that?
Well, I think Mother brings the raft to the shore, but they just come out from the ruins, and they just come down and walk over to the lake, and I think that's what they did with them last night. Maybe I was
So,
hiding here, of course.
so Cassandra will kind of look back towards the direction we came from, and then look at the four of them, convenient number, and say, "Hey, there's four of us, and there's a really big, smelly troll pit. I wonder if we can trick Mother to thinking we're her sons, and she can drag the people over for us. We kind of have to get smelly, though."
I'm trying to figure out her thinking.
Well, there's that big bear rug thing, and the smell and the bones and stuff. Like, try to disguise ourselves. Like, maybe she doesn't see good, or I don't know. Maybe let her think that it's her sons. I'm not saying it's a good plan, but it's the only one that, Cassandra the trickster would come up with.
Not a bad plan. My concern is if we get in the water, can't breathe in the. At least I can't breathe in the water. So especially if it's weed filled, we're gonna get tangled up in that.
Jari says, what about ambushing the ambushers? You know where they're going to do the ambush. I'm supposed to take you there. He looks at Hamlin and says, last night, didn't you suggest maybe walking in with me, and when the trap is sprung, the others will attack the trolls in the gully?
Yeah. Honestly, I do think the ambushing the ambushers is still probably the best plan, because if we go into the ruins, we're going to be hampered by darkness
That will
and
be the case during the
unfamiliar
ambush too.
terrain. No, not if they're showing up at dusk.
Jari says, they don't know how many are coming.
This is also true.
We never discussed me gathering a specific number, so even if, and he looks at Cassandra, well, no offense, you'd kind of be like an appetizer. But I mean, if I and the Hobbit and Hubertus here, if we go in with maybe with one more of you, I don't think they would think anything strange or odd about it.
Yeah, that's still my my recommendation, because just going into an underground and basically cellars and stuff like that, that's gonna hamper at least my weapon, because I've got a big ass longbow.
Silda says, the hall, I think, is very big.
Oh, they're in a hall.
They don't know about the secret place to get down. I do. I've gone down. It's quite large. I think they've got a big boulder rolled across something where they keep people.
Okay, if they're like in a crashed out in a hall, that's completely different. That might be doable.
Did anyone bring torches?
That would apparently be a no based off of my equipment.
Did the group basics have them?
Probably not. I think group basics is group basics. We can probably make some.
No, group basics doesn't have torches or anything.
That is true. It does not.
I don't have any torches or anything like that.
Are they likely sleeping? Do trolls sleep?
I believe they do. Although, if they've moved his family onto the raft, they might be awake, but they're awfully loud when they sleep. Their snoring it echoes. That's when I've snuck in. I only did it once.
Well, we could get lucky. If they're asleep, perhaps we can slay one or two before they get a chance to wake. How dark is it in the hall?
It's very dark. There's really no light that comes in.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
I mean, I saw what I saw because they still had a fire going. They might have a fire going.
Well, we can look over there and see if we see signs of smoke drifting up.
Are you now giving the wart a better look?
Yep.
Okay, everybody, perception checks, please.
By 2.
By 0.
By 5.
By 1.
And Hamlin by 1. Okay. So for those who succeeded, let's see here, by 5. So Cassandra, you can definitely see what looks to be like some smoke coming out. Not curiously, from the sort of center area of the mound itself. There's a bit of white smoke coming up, but you equally see that there's maybe somewhere over here. I'm going to ping it for you. You see what looks to be like an entrance covered with perhaps a blanket or a cowhide or something.
Oh, Cassandra will just kind of tug on Calidorn's elbow. I think I see a way in. And she'll point.
And Silda says, "That's not the secret way, but I've seen them look out over the valley from that place." So what are your
Perhaps
thoughts?
there's one there now. We might be able to dispatch that one on its own.
And Silda says, and she kind of points over in this general direction here. She says, "There's a stairwell. That's what I went down. It's over there." And if you recall the lore that I shared with you, they talked about this very thing, hidden ways of getting in and out of these watchtowers.
That stairwell, is it visible from the troll hole?
They don't know anything about it. At least I don't think they do.
Let my work then.
Yeah, maybe. I'm still not super comfortable with sneaking into this place. It's something more of a burglar does.
Cassandra will fail her overconfidence and say, "Well, it's a darn good thing you brought one."
And Silda looks at the hobbit and says, "Yeah, if 2 girls can do it, you can do it, big man. You're really tall." And she looks at Cassandra. "He's really tall."
Cassandra just shrugs. "Everyone's tall to me."
And Silda laughs. The first time you hear her laughing.
Right. So Hori wants to go into the hole. Cassandra wants to go into the hole. Hamlin's saying, and Calidorn's saying, maybe it's non-humans that are just crazy. Right. Well, we can at least investigate the hole.
And Silda claps her hands and looks at Cassandra. "I think that's the best."
What we don't know is this girl is actually the mother.
That would be hilarious if that was the case. And now you've planted that seed in the GM's brain. Good job.
I thought I was paranoid. That's a good one.
It's not too late to change things up. Thank you, Rigel.
Yeah, no, she's like, "Oh, wait, sorry, I just got a phone call. I'm going to need to take a 5 or 10 minute break."
Got to rework the plot.
Okay. So is the consensus to have Silda take you over to where the secret entrance is?
I suppose so. I don't like putting this girl into this kind of danger.
Well, it won't be dangerous during the day.
It's always dangerous.
And
Not
Silda
like
says,
she hasn't been in danger this whole time.
No,
Silda
that's
says, it is safe so long as they're not already aware that you're here. It is safe. I'm happy to lead you there.
Well, let's go forth to our dooms.
And she says, "This is how I go." And she talks about taking the track that you took to get here. And then she crosses somewhere where you did as well. And she comes up and sneaks around sort of this western side of the ruins to get over to where the stairwell is. That
Right.
way she stays out of sight of the lake.
Not to our doom, Calidorn. To glory.
I'm using it in the proper old English way, where your doom is your fate, the doom of men, and all that.
We are going to advance the clock because I know you're all going to be super sneaky to get over there, and we are going to go to the secret stairwell. But before we do that, I'm going to share with you a couple of more things. So indeed, you go through the ambush gully, and you can see why. It is ringed on either side by large stones, and And so indeed, there's a perfect ambush site here. And then as you climb up the trail towards the wart itself, you can see that this was definitely a fortification made from earth and stone. And although it's crudely made from your eye, from what you've seen in other structures, Caledorn, and I guess all of you have seen far better structures. However, it's it did its job probably in its day. Let's see here. So you do see the remains of the ancient watchtower as you circle around the western side, and you can see that there are worn bas reliefs that once depicted kings and heroes of the Northern Kingdom, but are now little more than vague shapes in stone. But there is one carving that is surprisingly readable. I can share that with you. And if
Is that a hobbit?
Is that a hobbit? And if someone has Dunedain lore and they want to make a skill roll, they might be able to explain this image a bit better.
I really should have that, but I don't.
Well, let's see. Can you default that?
I have.
I don't know what it is. Is that hidden lore?
It is kind of. You know what? Sorry, what am I saying? It's not really hidden lore per se. I would say make an IQ check, Caledorn, but let's say at -2 just to see if your remembrance of history is good.
Well, it would be the skill history, so whatever that defaults to.
I'm just checking.
I get it by 4.
IQ -6. Ooh. Oof. Okay. I will
Just looking
definitely.
at that, it's gonna be interesting. See if I was remotely. paying
Use some
attention.
hope.
I ain't wasting that in here. Holy cow!
If you waste a critical.
Okay, so both you and Hamlin recognize that this is King Argaleb II, with his right hand offering shelter to a hobbit, while his left hand is outstretched in admonition towards the east. And another pair of carvings facing west were once images of King Elendil and his son Isildur. I mean, with a critical success, what can we say? Caledorn's like, I know these faces. All right. So not far from the carving is a staircase that leads down to the troll hall. And this is where you can see the smoke still rising up. And so you walk around this, and there is a narrow shaft, as Silda correctly told you. And you suspect that this was probably used to bring up supplies from the cellars. And it's mostly hidden by fallen stones. So there is a shaft going down, just large enough for a dwarf to get through, or a very tall Dunedain man.
Right.
I need to have a fool of a took moment.
Oh boy.
Can I have it?
Yes, you can have a fool of a took moment, of course.
Sorry, guys. She's gonna like pick up a little pebble and like just kind of chuck it down the hole just to see how far it goes down. You'll hear crack, 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 crack going all the way down.
Yep.
Look at her like she's completely mad.
Yeah. And I'm not going to go there. So you throw the pebble down, and there's a rope that goes down, and Silda says, I'm going to stay here if that's okay.
Yes, get hidden.
And Diarmoc and Jari are equally happy to not go down. And besides which, Diarmoc wants to keep an eye on his family.
Don't do anything foolish.
And Diarmoc looks at you dead serious and says, this is my family, man. Dwarf, I'm not going to do anything. But if I hear you folks screaming and being ripped apart limb from limb, I'm sorry. I'm going to go to my family.
Just remember, I scream a lot while I'm killing.
Okay.
So those screams may not be us dying.
He just has to pay attention to context. This is going to end badly. I just know it.
Okay. I take it you took some time to make torches, yes?
Yeah, there were trees.
Okay. So we'll say you made torches, no problem. This isn't so critical that they needs rolls for creating torches.
There probably was lanterns at the farmstead anyway.
That's a good question. Do you want to do a universe roll to see if there were?
Sure.
Oh, the universe is cold and indifferent. We'll say there was one lantern.
Does anyone want to spend some hope?
Not down there.
Okay. You've got one lantern, and I'll say you've
And
got
some torches.
and some torches. Enough for each of you. How's that? Who's going first into this hole?
Caladorn, I guess.
Caladorn, are you taking a lantern with you, or are you taking a torch?
I am okay, so what is everyone's primary weapon set? I am a bowman, so I am not likely to be using a torch. Or a lantern, carrying a lantern in one hand, or a torch in one hand during a fight.
I'll go first. I can see well in the dark.
Okay, you're going to go first?
Hori will not take a torch.
Yeah, Caladorn
Okay.
will totally take the lantern. It's just like when the crap starts happening, he's going to end up having to drop it.
Okay, hang on a
No,
second.
she's a bow as well. What is Hamlin's primary fighting style?
It is, I believe he has a long sword or a broadsword. He's got a broadsword.
Right. And Hori is presumably an axe guy.
He is.
He likes axing questions.
All the time.
Okay, so Hori's going in first,
Yes.
and Hori has a torch or a lantern.
Hori has night vision 5, so he will use the ambient light of someone with a torch from behind him.
Okay, and who's going next?
Caladorn will go in next. He's probably going to be carrying the lantern, because I am totally thinking about smashing that lantern across one of the trolls.
Okay,
I wonder how they burn.
who's going in next?
I can.
Cassandra can bring up the rear.
Okay, Hamlin goes in next. Does Hamlin have a torch?
Is there a way to see without? I would have made one, but I guess I could have it. I could not use my buckler and use a torch and longsword.
How about if you just, someone's got a lantern. We'll just show you how much lighting you've got once you get down into this map here. Hang on. And Cassandra's bringing up the rear. All right, friends. Have you all seen the map?
I see something of a map.
Yes.
Okay. And what can you see ahead of you?
Can I make a request?
Yes, of
to
course.
add some transparency to the grid so it's less in your face?
Of course. We can do that. How's that?
That's fine for the dark part of the map. You might want to increase it just a little bit. Over here you can barely see it. That looks good.
How about that?
No, that's in your face again. Yep, that's good.
How about that? Okay. All right. So you can see a hallway in front of you. Is that about all you can see?
And you have to unlock tokens.
Yep.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay. Hang on. Okay. I'll unlock tokens. You tell me, how far are you going? Start with Hori. How far are you going to go down this hallway?
Well, Hori intends to go the whole way, but he'll be ahead by 3 or 4 yards.
Okay. Make some, at least make a stealth check as you're moving up this hallway. Just one stealth check apiece. You can make it at a +2.
Hori succeeds by 3.
By 2.
By 5.
Okay. And Hamlin.
Took me a second.
Success by 3. Okay. Everybody made their stealth checks.
We're a sneaky bunch.
Okay. Why don't you move yourselves up to behind Hori then?
I'm gonna make a test here. That is interesting. So what I just noticed is this. Damn it! Cooperate. this area here was darkened, and then once I moved up, it cleared out, which you expected. But when I moved back, it didn't go
Yeah.
dark again.
Yeah, I don't know why that does that, but seems to remain. So
It doesn't go dark, but because it basically shows the map that you've uncovered, but I don't think we're using lighting. So if you turn on lighting, then your visibility will change.
Let's see.
I mean, it's no big deal. It's just something I happened to notice. I thought it was interesting.
You'll have, looks like you have line of sight on, but not lighting.
Okay, I thought I had lighting on. Interesting.
It's always irritating when it doesn't work exactly the way you want it to.
Okay. So I've enabled, I think I just disabled lighting. I'm going to try and rename.
Yeah, lighting is disabled.
So now it should be enabled.
Okay. Or you can still see a long way.
Yeah. Okay. So Hori, can you see any creatures at this point?
I can see one troll.
Okay.
Am I hearing snoring?
Yes, you are.
Oh, also, you might want to set the round to 1 on the combat tracker instead of 8.
There we go. I think we can take everyone's fatigue off. There we go. So yes, you hear snoring, at least from one troll.
Well, Hori will turn around. He'll do the, I can see one. He'll gesture, sort of sleeping.
So is the one that we're looking at, is he actually asleep? Or is he up and about?
No, he's got his back to you and he's not moving. And that's where you think you're hearing the snoring from.
Hori will keep creeping forward.
Okay.
Yeah, this will be interesting.
He'll whisper, perhaps we could funnel them into the hallway.
Okay. How far are you going to go in?
Interesting. We've got a setting, I think, on there. I'm not saying necessarily change it, but if I deselect my character, I see more.
Yeah, if you deselect your character, then you see what the party sees.
So noted. I have to keep myself selected.
Okay. I want everyone to make a perception hearing roll, please. Into the box. Well, that's okay.
Oh,
never mind.
Barely by 0.
That didn't work.
By
Why?
4.
You don't have the
Interesting.
box
I'm actually-
enabled.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm actually seeing Hori's results in the box or in the tower.
I don't even have a tower. Where
The
is
tower hasn't been enabled.
Ew.
GM fail. GM fail.
Yep. Doop doop doo 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 doo. Okay, should be there.
This is just a test. Why is it still showing?
I don't know.
No, I'm trying. I modified the rule set so that you hold control and it would make the roll hidden. But it's not doing that. All right.
Okay.
I'll roll in the box then.
Yeah, please.
Wait, did you want us to roll them again into the
No.
box?
No,
This time?
that's that's fine. Did anybody fail their perception check?
I did not.
Hori
No.
did by 3.
Okay. So, Hori, probably while you were turning around to say, hey, there's one sleeping, everybody else could hear the sounds of feet moving ahead of you.
Brett Rowe.
like big feet, little feet?
Big feet.
Cassandra will be like from the back. I hear something. I hear feet.
I'm going to be hooking that lantern on the peg on the wall or putting it on the floor, depending.
Okay. What do you want to do next?
Hori will sort of spin around.
Does anybody have impulsiveness or any disadvantage that would force them to have to do something?
Cassandra's got curious and overconfidence. I'm wondering if she's going to try to hoist herself up on the wall or something, like find a perch so she can see because she's at the back of the group.
Right. So, Hori,
She's Spider-Manning.
the stone troll you see in front of you is still snoring away. Do you now see a bit of a light coming from the other room?
I see a light there.
Yeah. So that looks to you like it's like a fire of some description.
Hori will keep moving forward cautiously. He expects, a club or something to come flying at him from around a corner or something like that.
Okay. All right. And do you want to keep going? And what's Hamlin doing and what's Cassandra doing? Are you guys kind of hanging back like that?
I can see
Like this,
trolls
I'm
here.
gonna hide.
Okay, if you can see the trolls from your, then indeed you see trolls, and they're all kind of lined up against the wall here.
Wide awake and ready
Wide
to
a-
swing.
Yep, wide awake and just kind of just hanging there.
I told you that girl was the bad one.
Well, nothing left to do but do it.
Anyone have a flashbang?
Nice.
I want to just try something. Just humor me for a second here. I can find it.
Yeah, Bob, wake up now. We got company. And sure enough, Stone Troll Robber 4 wakes up. Do I still sound like a troll?
You still sound like a
You do.
troll.
You should leave it like that because it's funny.
Excuse me.
The GM's against us. I knew it. GM's a traitor.
How's that now? Is that better?
Nope.
You're still a troll.
I think it is better.
How about now?
You're still a troll.
How about now?
Now
There
you're
you go.
disappointingly not a troll.
All right. Now I know how to figure that out. So that's what you hear. Hey, Bob, get up. And this troll in front of you, Hori, he rolls over and is like, huh? And a troll comes around the corner. And he's got a maul in his hand. And he comes around the corner and says, what's this now? All right, let's go into combat.
It's your birthday. I'm a
Caledorn-
dwarfogram.
Caledorn, you're first up. So I think you put the lantern down, correct?
Yes, that's interesting. I'm noticing the weird circle thing on my character
You can
on
actually
the map.
change that.
I've not seen that before.
Okay, that's the
That's a new
that's the
feature.
initiative that's the initiative indicator.
I think it's kind of cool.
You can change it
Yeah.
in the options.
Do you want it on or do you want it off?
It's fine for now. Right. So he put the torch down, or not torch down, the lantern down. You said there's a fire in there, so I can see the sleepy guy. I'm going to be operating on the presumption that we were not idiots as we're approaching in here, even though we're stumbling into what appears to be something of a trap. So he had the bow in his left hand with an arrow strung or knocked, but not not drawn back. So I think he is going to shoot at that troll.
Okay.
There is actually,
What's their size mod?
Size mod is +1.
with the initiative circle thing, there is one that works better with hexes. So it's not a square, it's actually a circular thing.
Okay. I'm just going to go take a look for that then.
That's good because I was like scrambling to get some things open that I realized, crap, I don't have open.
Ronky, which one is it?
It's a circular one. So it's still animated, but it is a circle instead of a square.
Like that?
No, you turned off lighting or whatever. Or you turned off the layer. It's in the options.
Yeah, I'm in the options. I'm looking at the indicator selector choices.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I think
I'm not
that's.
shooting. I'm aiming.
I think that's it. Except for some reason it's really small.
Huh.
Maybe there we go. You had to change turn and then it worked.
Okay. So Hori, what do you do?
So we haven't had a chance to wait or anything like that, have we?
Not really. He just poked his head around the corner and said, "What are you doing here?"
Okay. Hori will step
This is when
forward.
you go, I'm here to ask you a question.
Hori will step forward. He'll say, Dwarfogram, I have a message. I have a delivery for you. And he's going to... do these guys wear armor or anything like that?
No, just clothes.
He's going to probably hack at the only thing that he can, which is the leg.
Okay. I think I shared a picture.
Yep.
Okay, you're going to go for the leg. It's size mod +1. So what would that be for a leg? Like -1
Leg is -2.
plus the size
So
mod.
it's
So
going to be -1.
yeah,
I'm also
-1 for the
gonna
leg.
do a minus
some
one deceptive. Actually, yeah, -1 deceptive. So that will hit.
Hatchet? Really?
Yeah, I need to use my shield.
You can use a shield with a battle axe.
Yeah, but my only other axe is a great axe.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the deceptive, what does that mean? He's now going to be.
At -1 to defend.
You should have taken a -2 on your attack roll for that. Remember, it's 2 for 1.
I don't know what the -1 was for.
So you went for leg, -2. Deceptive, -2. So that's -4. So you would have been at a total -3 with the SM. I mean, you would still hit, but
Yeah,
Okay,
but
so
I'm
he'll
not
be-
sure what that -1 was for because I didn't actually do the deceptive.
Okay, so he's
What?
going to be at -1 to his defense then.
Yep.
Okay, he's going to try and dodge. Ooh, he succeeded by 1.
We can't. Yeah, no, I'm not going to use hero stuff or hope points.
Okay, Cassandra.
is this campaign on a different computer?
Nope.
'Cause I'm just noticing all the stuff I had on the hotkeys are gone.
Nope. Didn't change anything.
I don't believe you.
I also noticed that you were no longer owned.
Yeah,
Your character was not owned.
I also noticed that, and I thought that was really weird.
So I wonder if there was a glitch or something, because I don't remember kicking you for any reason or releasing you.
He hates me.
Cassandra, what are you going to do?
Okay, she's going to ready her bow.
Okay. Hamlin, what you going to do?
You probably already had the bow ready. We were going into a potential combat situation.
Well,
Okay,
since
I
I
was
don't-
assuming she was holding one of the torches.
You can do that. You got 2 hands. You can hold the bow in your left hand and torch in the other.
Okay, so assuming she had her bow in hand already, she will fast draw an arrow.
Okay, roll that fast draw.
Success by 2.
Excellent. Okay. Hamlin, what you doing?
Well, I'd like to move forward, but I don't want to be I don't want to cross paths and screw up the aim that this guy has.
That's fine. You just move over there. Yeah,
Okay.
I like the circle thing.
Okay. Are you going to do a move and attack, or are you just moving up to that place?
Sorry, I forgot to hit the button. Hori did attack, so I'm going to attack.
Okay, so you're doing a move.
Yeah,
Move and
moving
attack. Okay, so -4, but -3 actually because of the size of the creature. So
Unless
-3.
he burns a fatigue to make it just a regular attack.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, so we've got a possible hit. You hit him. Roll your damage. All right, 7 cutting. He's got a DR of 2, so that's 5. So that would be 7. Troll screams out, "Ah!" as your blade sinks into its torso.
What was
And
that that he screamed out again?
Black ichor flies out. Ah! Okay, click the advanced or the next actor button there, Hamlin. Thank you very much. So Stone Troll Robber Run is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's as far as he can go. Number 2, he's got shock now from your blow, about -4 for shock. So he is going to try to grab Hori, son of Nori. He's going to try and grab you and grapple you. You have no size modifier, correct? But it should be at -1 because of the size difference between the two of you.
Correct.
Here we go. And he misses you. His big maw just swipes past you. Stone Troll Robber 3 goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stone Troll Robber 4 is like, what's going on? And he's kind of slowly getting up from his lying down position. Back to you, Caladorn.
I am going to take a step and loose after I make sure I didn't screw everything up because I probably screwed it up.
You got a +1 for his size, too. Remember that.
Okay, let's see if this is going to work. I think I screwed it up. Hold on, sorry. It still doesn't look right, but let's see if it actually works. Holy cow, it may have worked. You will note the hit location is the eye.
Yes. Okay. So
That is success by 2.
I'm going to say that he did not have any idea that he was being targeted. I think that's reasonable. He's waking up. He's rolling over. Oh, what's going on? So roll your damage.
Max damage. Okay, let's see. Now I got to remind myself. You shoot somebody in the eye.
Okay.
What is the stuff?
So
I believe that just
basically
goes straight to the brain.
Yeah. So it's going to do 4 times the damage you rolled. There's no DR because it's his eye. So you did 32 points of damage to him.
Yep. And I do know he is at a -10 on the knockdown.
Just got to get the number 4 here. So you did 32 points of damage.
Message for you, sir.
So that takes him to -12 hit points right off the bat. He's got to do a roll against knockdown, and that's going to be a -10. However, he has high pain threshold, so that I think knocks it down to a -7.
7.
Let's see if he's knocked down. Oh, he very much is knocked down.
How much did he fail it by?
Can you see that?
No, we can't see your rolls.
Sorry.
You have to drag and drop it on the chat.
He failed by 6.
He's unconscious.
Yeah, failure by 5 or more is unconscious.
I'm going to just activate the show rolls here. Hang on. Okay, so he is unconscious. I'm going to take him out of the combat.
Ooh, that was a gamble. I wasn't sure if it was going to actually work, but yeah.
Gambled well.
Indeed.
Okay, Hori, son of Nori, what do you do?
All right, Hori is going to rinse and repeat.
Okay, so all right, success by 1. There we go. So he's going to be at -1 to his defense, correct?
Correct.
He's quick.
Against the dwarf, but not against Hamlin.
Cassandra, what do you do?
She is going to think that Caladorn is so cool because of what he just did. And so she's going to try to do the same thing. So she's going to aim at Stone Troll Robber number 3, and that's her go.
Okay.
Well, since we currently don't have a proper elf in the group, somebody's got to do those ridiculously impossible shots.
Okay, Hamlin, what do you do?
Don't expect me to crawl up Oliphant, though.
I'm going to poke toward the torso. Just a standard hit.
Oh, boy. Failed by 1. Do you want to use hope and turn that into a success?
Yes, please.
Okay. So to turn a failure into a success is going to cost you 3 hope points.
Go for it.
Okay, so you can mark 3 hope points on your hope point tracker there. And let's see if he dodges this puppy. He fails. Good Lord. Okay, go for your damage.
I'm super amused that that troll has been dodging Hori like he's not even a threat, but can't dodge anything from Hamlin.
It was funny. This said crush. I was hoping it was impale because I wanted to cause more damage, but I said I was going to do a thrust attack. So here we go.
Yeah. So there's also we have the tables. Let's see. That would be the chest, I believe. It can't let me drag and share that.
You're wanting to do what? The hit location table?
Yeah, the chest. No, the chest table. So he could roll that, and he could theoretically hit vitals.
Okay. Can you open
Not
the
with crushing?
I thought he said it was a thrusting check.
It is, but it's a.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. So it's okay. So you do 4 crushing against Stone Troll Robber 2, which 7. That's 11.
No, it would just be 4, unless they're vulnerable to crushing.
I think He cut off mid-sentence for me. I wonder if he's having TeamSpeak issues again.
No, I'm not. I'm just having almost 55-year-old brain issues. Sorry, I'm just adding. I'm adding.
Nice.
I'm adding the 4 to the existing 7 injury that he took. So he's now taken 11 injury points. Okay. Stone Troll Robber 1 is going to come around 5, and he's going to make a move and attack against Hori. He's going to try and punch Hori. Success by 1. What does Hori do?
Hori is going to block.
Ooh, okay.
Actually, let me just quickly make sure that the block here is using the shield.
I don't think it is.
Skill 16 becomes 8, becomes 11, becomes 12, becomes 14.
All right. Yeah, get the shield up and block the big fist from smashing down on you. Stone Troll Robber 2, who is now at shock minus 4 from that hit that he took from Hamlin, is going to try to punch Hamlin because this is the annoying bee that has stung him twice.
Come on, ice cream. Miss.
He just succeeds.
Ugh. Okay, let me dodge.
Okay. You want
Use
to
some
spend
hope.
more hope?
No, I'm going to take it like a man.
Oh my gosh. All right, it's been nice knowing you.
Bold.
That's 10 crushing on you.
See, this is a learning moment.
Hori will sort of shrug and go, yep, he took it like a man. No dwarf would take that.
I got 2 health left then.
So you, no, you should be, I gave you 10 injury. You should be down to 5 hit points. However, you'll have to roll against your health because it was a major wound.
Does he have any DR?
He's got, that's a good question. He's got DR of 1, but it's asterisked. It's a leather
Still,
jacket.
in this case, it's still, it just means that's flexible. So he would have, he took 9.
So you took 9. You made your health roll, so you're not stunned or knocked down.
Definitely thinking that was a bad idea.
But you will be at -4 for shock your next turn.
Yeah, I may step back just a little.
Stone Troll Robber 3, I'm going to do a little perception check to see if he figures out that he's being aimed on by the Hobbit.
I mean, she's pretty small.
He apparently does not see this at all because of the big brothers in front of him. However, he decides to move forward, and he is going to try to see if he can wiggle in here. He wants to really smash something.
Hurry up!
Caladorn.
Okay, so I have to do some stuff here for Heroic Archer. Step 1, fast draw. That is success by 3, so I was able to fast draw the arrow. Now I need to make a bow at -3 to see if I can insta-ready this. That was success by 2, which means I can actually attack at -3 right now.
Okay.
All right, so let's see here. All right, now I gotta click over here, go click, and range is 1. I need to put that on my thing too. I've already got the size mod. Yes. Dang, that's gonna make. I get to add that. That puts me there. I'd really like to do that shot in the eye again, but that would be really tough right now. So I think he's going to go for a vital shot.
All right.
And he's targeting the one that's super already wounded, number 2, with the thinking that he's not going to be able to dodge it as effectively.
Okay.
So that is success by 3, so maximum 1 hit.
Okay. And he failed to dodge.
Shiny. All right, let's see. Hopefully I got decent damage. Well, that's 5, so that's going to be 3 but it's to a vital strike, so that's going to be 9 points of damage to him.
Okay.
And health at -5 to knockdown.
So he took, you said 9 points of damage?
Yep. You said they had DR2, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so 5 minus 2 is 3, but it's vital, so that's times 3,
Okay.
so 9.
So, and it's what's the minus to his health roll?
-5 on knockdown for vital strike.
If it's a major wound.
Okay. So, yeah, it wouldn't quite make it to major wound because these guys
Okay.
have hit points of 20. You came close. However,
Hopefully it'll put him at zeros.
so he is going to make a roll to stay conscious. And he fails by 2, so he goes down. I'm kind of mooking these guys for what it's worth.
Nah, we're just that awesome.
I think Hamlin would beg to disagree with that.
Okay, Hori, son of Nori. You see this troll just kind of fall back as an arrow sinks into its guts.
He will say, "Good shot. You're making us look bad."
Yeah, I totally can't wait until afterwards where Hori looks at the first guy I shot through the eye.
I'm going to rinse and repeat on this guy.
Now, Cassandra, you have to roll a 3 because that would be hysterical.
Oh, I will not roll a 3. She's probably going to shoot like Hamlin or somebody in the back of the head.
Nope. I'm
That's
calling
it.
it. You're gonna roll a 3.
Success by 2, hit.
Okay, and you were targeting.
leg. Doing -1 deceptive.
And he failed.
Yay, I hit something.
Ooh, 7. Cutting. -2 is 5, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
Not enough to cripple the leg.
Nope. But you sink your hatchet head into his leg, and he lets out this scream as black ichor spurts up over your axe head. Cassandra?
Okay, I think I have all my mods entered except one. So there's a -1 for the size mod, right? For theirs.
+1.
Plus 1.
+1. Does she get an extra because she's tinier than the humies?
She's size mod what?
Huh? Yeah, she's -1, right?
Yeah,
She
she's a
is.
You
hobbit.
get its relative size modifier. So
So
if you're
she gets a
-1 and
+2.
they're +1, you get +2.
Yeah, she gets a +2.
Okay. All right. Ugh, this is gonna hurt. Sorry, Hamlin.
I like how you're automatically presuming you're gonna. Look at that! Look at that!
No, it didn't fail.
Okay. So I'd said that he hadn't noticed you aiming at him. So
You
go
did.
roll your damage.
I'm gonna get a 1. Yep.
Do you want to use some hope?
I would like to use some hope to bump
Okay.
that up
Okay. So what was our rule on that? That was
because come on.
So if
Okay,
you use
you
2
can-
hope, you could get +2.
All right, so we'll do that. I'll spend 2 hope and get an extra 2 impaling damage on that for the
So
eyeball.
that'd be 3 points.
3 points of
which gives
impaling.
me 12.
12. So 12 to the old brain pan. Number 3.
Well shot.
Yay!
And if they had, 20 hit points? That's going to be a
Yep.
major wound.
It's also to the brain, so I think he's at minus
-10.
-10.
Or
10
minus
with his-
7.
7. Yeah. Fails. He goes down.
Ooh.
She's
Man.
like, I can't wait to tell Cousin Bilbo about this.
Yep.
Okay, Hamlin.
All right. Now the guys who are down, do they look dead or they're just down?
Well, hard to tell. They're down. That's all you see.
Trying to remember if I step up to troll robber 1, will I get a minus to hit?
From your distance, yes, you'd have to make a move and attack.
Okay, I'll do that, even though I'm wounded quite a bit, but I'm going to try to take him down.
Okay, so you basically are making a step forward and a step to the side, I believe.
Okay.
So you'd be at -3 because of his size.
All right, here we go. I'm going to try to cut him anyways.
Success by 0. Now, just I'll give him a chance to dodge your attack, though. Hang on.
That's true, sorry.
Oh my. He critically succeeded his dodge, which means you
Well,
have to
we
go
would-
to the.
Critical miss table.
You got to go to the critical miss table. Let me call it up for you.
But he may not have hit. Does Emlyn have high pain threshold?
Well, that's true. He had shock of -4 from his from being hit the first time.
That's true. I forgot I had -4, so I would have. Let me check. I think I might have missed him. Let me look real quick. I rolled a 12, so that would be 16.
Do you have high pain threshold though?
Let me check that quick.
If you have high pain threshold, then you ignore shock penalties.
No, I do not have high pain threshold.
So, what was your skill in broadsword? Is broadsword
Broadsword is 15.
15. Yeah. So 15 -4.
What was the -3 that you put in there?
That was for the move and attack, modified by the size.
Okay, so then you would have missed anyway because capped at 9 unless you spent a fatigue.
Oh, I missed. I tried.
Okay.
It's actually probably better for you in the long run.
Saved by the rules.
So, Stone Troll, Robber 1. He is going to punch Nori. Sorry, son of Nori. Woo. Does that mean he
Oh,
rolls on a
dear.
critical hit?
It does, and it also means Nori can't defend.
Right.
Can I use hope to influence their rolls?
Well, this is a good question, and I think maybe it's something we should talk about is do you want to use hope to that end? Because in the One Ring, I believe you can use your hope to affect other roles. Would you like that to be a feature or not?
Well, I think
Well-
Ronki would really like it to be a feature right now.
At this very point, I would certainly like it to be a feature,
Okay, so
but
I
it's
like
up to
the
you
idea.
whether you allow
I
it.
like the idea. So this would mean you'd have to spend 6 hope points to change.
Yeah, from a margin crit or from a crit to just a regular hit, right?
Let's see.
It's your little cheat sheet there.
So
It's still
4
not
hope
in
points.
point order.
4 hope points can turn critical failure into failure.
So yeah, in that case, that I think that's what it would be. 4 to go a success to a critical success to just a regular success, which he could actually defend against.
That's true.
Well, I wouldn't need to defend against a regular failure.
No. But he's going from, in this case, it'd be the reverse. He'd be going from a margin critical success to just a regular success. If you
Oh,
spent the
yes,
4.
in the reverse. I will spend those 4 hope points
Okay.
You're gonna
because
get
I hope
kinda
not
close
to get hit.
miserable.
Okay.
I'm already
So-
miserable. You guys have killed 2, and I'm still working on this guy's leg.
Okay. So so you're going to spend the points, you're going to turn his critical success into a success. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Now you've got to make your defense roll.
I'm gonna laugh my butt off if you roll like an 18 here.
Oh, wait a sec. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Did you include the -1 penalty due to size modifier?
Good point. I did not.
Because then that is not
then
a
it's just
margin
reg-
critical anymore.
Yeah, then it's just by 9, so it's just regular success.
Okay. Thank you.
Saved by
I'll
the
get my
rules
hope.
again.
I'll get my hope back.
Get your hope up again.
This is when you roll the 18 on the defense roll.
Yeah, don't say that.
Okay, well, let's see what he does. Okay, so you successfully block. Awesome. Okay.
Let's do this again.
Just
Yeah, go ahead.
just before that, I'm just going to do something again. Hang on.
What now have you done to my sons?
Alrighty.
I'm coming for you now. Don't go anywhere. I can make some more plans when the time is right.
And your little dog, too.
All right. I do not have a particularly great chance here. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll see. I wish to spend a hope or whatever the thing is to turn that failure into a success. So that is
3.
3 points. Okay, 3.
Yeah, 3 can turn a failure into success.
Yep. Wanna? Yeah. Okay.
All right, you're turning that into success, and you
Dang
were
straight
shooting at the eye, blah, 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 blah. I am going to give this guy a chance to dodge. And he does.
Boo! Boo! I wanted to, kill steal for against Tori again.
Hori, your turn.
All right, Hori's going to rinse and repeat on the other leg. Actually, no, he's going to go for the foot, and he'll say, "The bigger they are, the harder they fall."
Dare I ask, what's your hope score down to?
10.
10, okay.
The foot, is that -4 or is it -3?
It should be -3 for this creature.
Okay. And I'm going to use. So that's -5. Ah, damn it. I'm going to use 1 hope to get a +1.
Okay.
Didn't need it.
Okay, success by 4. -1 on this roll. But
Yes.
he failed.
Crap.
Okay, so 5 minus 2 is 3. So you did what? Basically
4 points.
4 points of damage to his foot.
And I think it's health divided by 3 to cripple. So that's not enough.
No. But hey, another bunch of blick icker comes around your hatchet as he
Wait a sec. Let me just.
foot.
4. So I need to cripple it. I got 20 hit points, you said?
20 hit points, yeah.
So I'd need to get that to 7 points of damage. No, I can't do it. Not enough hope.
Okay, next actor, please. So, because I want to wrap this up in one session, the mother arrives. And see if I can find an image for you. This is Nellie Longarms.
We won't ask how she got from the lake to the tower during the day.
Exactly. Don't ask that question. So she comes in and she, as I said earlier with her voice, says she can make more sons and says something about wanting to eat all of you. She's saving the others for an appetizer. Cassandra.
Where is she?
Can you see her now?
No, you've got them hidden.
Don't see any of the enemies.
How about now?
Yes.
Hey, there we go.
There she is.
Cassandra.
All right. Cassandra is going to attempt to fast draw an arrow.
All right.
Success by 4.
Excellent.
She will. Is that like her action, or can she fast draw and that's it, right?
I don't know. Do you have heroic archer?
Oh no, she's
Then
not
yeah,
like that.
she can do step 1 of the ready, because it's normally draw, knock, and ready. So it's normally you fire every 3 rounds unless otherwise. And in case you with this, you would be firing every other round.
Okay.
But with
So-
heroic archer, you can do the -3 bow check to insta ready. Fast draw. If the fast draw is successful, you can fire at -3.
That is not her. So she is going to fast draw and start to get the ready process started.
Okay. Hamlin.
Am I still stunned or -4?
Nope.
I am not. Okay. I'm going to attack Stone Troll Rob 1. That's right. Sorry. He gets to dodge. Forgive me.
Yeah.
I hope he fails, because that's a really good damage roll.
Now
Oh.
he gets the critical.
Oh no.
So you can burn hope to turn that into a regular success if you wish.
I would. Now, I was looking on my character sheet here to try to find where the hope was located.
Yeah. So on your character sheet, if you go to the main tab and you go to under secondary characteristics, there's a resources tab.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So I got to take
Yeah.
4 away from that. I could take 4 from the last time. So I'm -4, so that's 11.
Okay.
And how many hope points do I have to burn?
To turn this into a regular success, that would be, what did they say, 4 points?
I think that's
Oh. Okay,
Yep.
so I'm down to 7 hope points.
Okay. So, yes, now you can Yeah, you made you made him basically do a success. So you now have to
Nothing.
nothing,
He
right?
took a swing and the guy dodged it, which is really sucks because that was going to be some awesome damage.
Oh, that's it, right? Okay, Stone Troll Robber 1 is going to take a swing at Hori. So I gave him a -1 for the size mod, so I think that's a success. You know what? Actually, I think that's a miss because he took damage from you last time, which would be some shock.
Unless they have high pain threshold.
Oh, they do. Sorry. So yeah. Okay.
Ouch.
Are you going to take this?
No, I'm going to have to spend some hope. Now, I can't spend hope to get a +1 because I can't do that after the fact, right?
Yep.
So I'll have
3
to spend 3 points to turn a failure into a success. Should have retreated, damn it.
Okay. So he misses.
Yep.
Caladorn.
Right. Gotta do
What
the
happens
thing.
when you get to 0 hope?
Oh.
I'm not near 0 yet, but I'm getting pretty sad.
Okay. Here, I'm just going to drop this for you. So you haven't gained any shadow points yet, but once your shadow points reach your current hope score, you become miserable. Okay, that was a miss.
Yep. And I'm not spending the points because I'm desperately afraid I'm going to need them here in a minute or two.
Okay. Hori, over to you.
Ori's he's sad. Gonna have a go. This time the other foot.
Okay.
Be nice to me, dice. Yes.
All right. Let's
Succeed by 2.
see if he dodges. He fails.
That's better damage.
All right. So 8 minus 2
6
is 6. So
becomes 9.
9. So that should be enough to cripple his foot, I think.
Yes, so he'll take 7 points of damage, because that's the maximum he can take to a foot.
I'm going to have him do a dex check, or does he fall down automatically?
He falls down automatically, and he also needs to make a knockdown roll.
Okay. So that would be his knockdown roll.
So he's not affected, but he does fall prone.
Okay, so he's prone now.
His mom is going to stomp on his head in embarrassment.
Okay.
He's making her look bad.
There we go. So Nelly, and give me a second here. All right. So Nelly, she. Give me a second here, please. She is generating a mist.
That's one polite way of saying it.
Uh-huh.
If she saves me, I can help her make other troll children.
You.
So she generates a mist.
Or he will go, oh, sorry.
Sort of like this. Okay.
Yeah.
So this mist rises out of almost nowhere. And so those of you who are in it, basically this is mystic mist. So it's a dense opalescent fog that confuses anyone entering it. Figures more than 2 yards away cannot be seen except by mage sight, and those who were within it when it was cast are immune to its effects. They can sense it as a dim shimmering, but it does not affect their vision or confuse them. Others must roll versus IQ plus magic resistance every second or use mage sight to avoid losing their way and walking in randomly.
Can't do that. There's no magic here.
So what I'm going to say is, because it's for those who were within it are immune to its effects, so that's not what she's doing, sorry.
You can't cast magic. You said there's no magic in this thing.
I
think with area spells, you can actually designate targets to... Actually, no, ignore that.
What she's doing is creating this in such a way that it's centering on her. That's what I'm trying to do. So she's kind of created this mystic mist around her. And that's what she does.
What you could do is increase her reach in the combat tracker to, is it 1, 2, 3? 3 yards.
Okay.
and then the red circle that is around her will should show, I think.
Well, I've just increased the reach, but I don't think it's doing anything.
Maybe increase her size modifier by 1 or 2 levels. There you go. That way it'll follow her
Yep.
as you move her. Actually, no, it shouldn't move.
No, that's right. So she has cast this like so. Okay, Cassandra.
Okay.
I'll explain that mechanism after we're done the game. Well, about what just happened.
Okay. Well, she can't see in there now, I'm assuming. So she's going to aim at Stone Troll Robber number 1. So that will be her go this round.
Okay.
Ooh,
Hamlin.
no. All right. So the fog is not around me,
No.
but it will be.
No. It's just sitting there.
Okay. That's why she said she can have other children. We should. I want to be a coward, but I'm going to take a swing at the troll robber one.
Okay. Let's see if he dodges.
Isn't he prone?
He's prone. He can still try and defend, can't he?
-3,
Yeah.
I think.
I was just trying to figure out what his stuff would. It's like you've got the.
So he fails. Nice hit.
Now he doesn't roll as good damage.
Yeah, I know,
That's
right?
too bad. I really liked the previous one.
Okay, so 6 minus 2 is 4, half of 4, so it's 6 points of damage. And he's still conscious. So he is lying there. He's going to try to get up onto his knees. Caladorn.
Right. So I cannot see her because of the mist. Is that correct?
I believe so. I'm just going to call that back up. So it produces this fog, confusing anyone who enters it. Figures more than 2 yards away cannot be seen except by mage sight. So yeah, you can't see her unless you go into that mist.
And then you have to make a pride check.
Yep.
All right. So got a by 3 potential vital strike on the kneeling guy.
Okay. Kneeling, I think, is a -2 to dodge.
Correct.
Plus all the other stuff he has.
Okay, he's failed that.
Oof. 8 points of impaling. That's 6 times 3 is 18.
Yep.
I very much want to kill Steel again.
And
Well, 18 is definitely going to be a major wound, so he'll be at the -5 on the health check.
yeah, so
But
He
it looks
gets-
like he's going to succeed.
he gets
'cause
a
it'll
plus.
be-
He gets a +3 because of his high pain threshold. But let me
Yeah,
let me check to make sure he doesn't. Because he's at -1 times health points, so that means he's got to roll to stay alive, right?
On his turn.
On his turn, right? Okay.
But I do believe if he's at -1 hit points.
Oh,
that
did
does
he
affect
get to
consciousness.
-1 hit points from this attack?
Yes, he did.
Then he does have to make the death roll there and then.
No, he's
Yeah.
still alive.
But that does affect the
His consciousness will be at -1 on his turn.
He still would have barely eked out a success.
Yeah.
So he'd have been
Yeah.
by 1.
Yeah. Okay. Click on the next actor, please. Hori.
Yeah.
Or he will say, "Now that's better. Now you're my size."
And then he eats you.
Hori is going to probably telegraph this. Let me see. Yes. Hori will telegraph it. And telegraphed is +4. So
Right.
that is actually a success by 1.
Okay.
But he will get +2 to defend.
All right. So +2, -2 because he's kneeling, which is basically 0. But he still failed.
Whatever gets through is doubled.
Yeah.
So he'll take 10.
Okay. So he's taken 51 points of injury in total. He's at -31. Okay. So you hear Nellie say, "I can make more children."
Middle Earth equivalent of TMI, ma'am.
Cassandra.
So Stone Troll Robber's still awake.
He's barely awake.
He's reeling from his wounds.
Okay, give me a sec to do mods. I was expecting him to be dead.
Actually, you know what? We are going to make him dead.
Oh,
Sounds like
okay.
somebody just looked at his clock.
We're going to make him dead.
Off with his head.
Okay. So Cassandra's got her arrow knocked and ready, and she dropped her aim because he died, and now she's like, I don't know what to do with this. This is beyond her purview. So she'll take a step closer, but that's about all she's going to do. She'll still have her arrow kind of
Okay.
aimed towards the mist.
Okay. Hamlin.
Okay. I definitely don't want a piece of that fog, that mist. So, is there a way to maybe step back just a little bit, be equal with Hori, son of Nori, and provide like a little wall?
Yeah.
And then I want to look behind me in case I can't see. I want to know how the hall is so I can, scurry back up the hall if possible.
All right. So you take a step back. Caladorn.
Right. I just shot, so I have to do the thing. Success. Fast draw. So the stuff is the mist is still there. We can't see her.
That's right.
I guess I'm gonna aim at the densest part of the fog.
Okay.
Operating on the presumption that's where she's at. Not gonna loose yet.
Ori will shout, she's in there somewhere, and then charge forward.
And she's gonna say, thank you for volunteering for being my mate. And we're like, nope.
Okay. So you'll have to make a fright check when you first enter the mist.
Do you get bonuses for being in combat?
+5.
Actually, no, the maximum fright check is 14 anyway.
Technically, it's 13.
All right, I'm going
But
to
you
have
still
to.
get, +5.
I'm going to have to turn that into a success.
He is going to be super miserable,
God.
isn't he?
Well, he hasn't really experienced any shadow points yet, so but he is definitely draining his hope.
When he gets there, can he see her?
Okay, so you're turning your fright check failure into a success. Okay,
Yes.
right. Let me just continue to go through this. I'll put it in the chat. So it produces this fog that confuses anyone into it. Figures more than 2 yards away cannot be seen except by mage sight. All right. Those native in the mist have a +1 to their defense rolls when attacked by interlopers, and interlopers have a -1 to their own defense rolls against natives.
Right, so
Holy cow, that's long duration.
It is.
I'm calling shenanigans. You said there was no magic, and this looks like magic to me.
It looks like magic, doesn't it?
So I'm assuming that Hori can see.
So Hori can see, and if you're 2 yards away from her, then yes, you can make her out.
Then Hori can do a move and attack.
Yep.
He'll spend the fatigue to make it a heroic charge because he's a miserable hero. And she's big like the others.
Yes, she is.
So Hori's going to go for the legs like he has been.
Okay.
You need to roll a 3 and take her leg off here, dude.
Well, I can spend 6 hope to turn a 4 hope to turn a success into a critical success.
Now remember how those hope points are regained.
He's gonna be
I got
pressed at home.
Yeah, that's a fail.
Okay. So you are now how close to her?
Right next to her.
Okay. Nellie is going to try to punch you, and you're at -1 to your own defense rolls.
Yes.
I believe she successfully punches you. Okay. Cassandra, you watched Hori disappear into that mist.
Has Caladorn let loose an arrow in there yet?
He is not. Unfortunately, since I can't see in there, I think it would be treated as if she's invisible, which is like -10. So I don't think I'm gonna end up doing that.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think if there's something we can do to disturb the mist, make it easier to see what's going on in there. But I don't
Blow
know
really
of
hard.
anything. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. All right. Well, shoot, I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea what to do. So she's just going to hold her arrow and hold her turn. And if she gets a glimpse of something that looks troll-like in there, she'll take a shot at it.
Okay. Hamlin.
Is there any way that I can try to heal myself quick before doing that nightmare?
No, sir.
All right. Well, I'm going to go into the fog as well.
Okay.
Here we go. So
So-
now I got to do a fright check.
Fright check, yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I pick a 3E here. You have to forgive me. I'm looking for fright.
Okay.
Just will.
Because the third edition would just be will check, but we'll
It's
play
the same.
4E here.
It's just a will check.
Capped at 13.
Good, I made it.
Okay. So you enter the mist. You don't get freaked out. And was that your full move, or are you going to... You've got a move of...
Probably 6.
You've got a move of 4 because you're lightly encumbered.
Oh, so that would be the entire movement then. That would
I
be
believe
my
so.
entire turn.
Okay. Next. Caladorn.
Right. He's like gonna utter an oath of some sort. He's gonna drop his bow and the arrow. It's gonna attempt a fast draw on the sword to draw his short sword. That was successful. And then he is going to take a step and ready his shield.
Okay. Hori, son of Nori.
I'll bring you down to size, you ugly cow. You make my mother look like a princess.
Need the troll voice. It's like I've never had a dwarf before.
Again, attacking the leg as before.
Okay. And you'll be at -1 for the miss, but +1 for the size of the creature.
What is it with my rolls?
I do not know.
No wonder I'm miserable. The player's
Right.
miserable.
Oh, gosh.
Now you know how I feel.
She gets a +1.
You can have your dice back.
She's a +1 for her defense, but not against her attacks. So she's going to be at -1 to hit you.
And
Plus size.
Hori will say, Hamlin, flank her.
So she is going to spend some hate. Might as well. So she's going to turn that failure into a success. And she'll spend 3 hate. You'll have to make a dodge or a block.
Ooh, so close. Oh, wait.
Yeah, you're at -1 for the mist.
Yep, no, that's all right.
Okay. So that's...
However, I needed my shield DB, so that is shield damage.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be funny if she shatters your shield.
No, that's not going to
Well-
be funny at all.
Yes, it is, because then you'll know to drop the hatchet and go for the great axe.
8 crushing on your shield.
Shields have... Okay, leave that with me. I don't think it's going to affect anything immediately,
I don't think so.
but I'll look
Okay.
it up.
Okay. Cassandra Took.
Okay, well, she's going to stash away her bow and let me check her inventory. Grab her broadsword. That's actually more like a dagger, but pull it out.
It's
So-
the short sword.
Yeah, whatever.
We're
So-
both using the same size weapon, and you're like, "Look at my great broadsword," and I'm like,
Yep.
it's a short
So-
sword."
Shield has
So-
DR7, so shield takes 1 point of damage.
Okay.
It has 40.
Okay. Okay.
So stash the bow, start to reach for the sword.
Okay. Do you have fast draw sword, I wonder?
I don't think so. Let me check.
Hamlin,
No.
what do you do?
She only has fast draw arrow.
Of course, I wouldn't know who Shrek is, but I say you're beautiful like Fiona. But I must kill you, princess.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Okay. So you have I think that's very much a success.
All right, let's see what the princess here does.
He is going to use some hope or hate, sorry, to turn that into a success. So she'll do 3 more hate.
Yeah, burn all of that stuff. Get rid of it before I get over there.
Okay, so you missed. You succeeded, sorry. In,
All right,
defend.
so I'm gonna have to do a moving attack. Okay, so first I'm gonna do the moving attack. I'm planning on doing a moving attack, but I'm gonna be doing it as a heroic charge. So I'm gonna go ahead and expend the fatigue. I get hearish, and I need to make the fright check. Ooh, I need to spend some points, I guess. That would
No,
be.
you can't.
On
You'd
fright
have to
checks?
spend 3 to turn a
Yeah,
success
that's why I said.
to... Yeah.
That's why I said I needed to spend some points. I don't want to run away. So that's 3. Damn, I'm going to be pretty miserable too. But I have a move of 8, so I can get all the way over here. And let's see what I can do with the short sword. So she is size mod 1. That gives me that. All right, let's see what we can do. Success by 4. That is deceptive 2.
She gets a +1 because of the mist. So that would be a
Then minus 1.
fails by 2. She will use the last of her hate points to
Boo.
succeed.
Boo. Wait. Yay. Hori oh, wait. No, Hori goes next. He's got Mel's dice tonight.
All right, Hori, what are you going to do?
Step around into her side. Gonna spend a fatigue for a mighty blow. And I'll rinse and repeat. I think we're good there. Yes. Success by 2.
All right. Side hex is -2, correct?
Yes. Her defense bonus will cancel out his deceptive.
All right. So she'll still be at a -2.
Yep.
She fails.
Yes.
Do your damage, sir. Okay. So 10 -2 is
So she'll take
8.
12 cutting. That will be enough to cripple her leg.
Yeah.
So she'll take a maximum of, assuming she has the same hit points as her.
Her hit points are 22.
Oh, okay, so 11, 12. So yeah, she took 12 points of damage, and that was just enough to cripple her leg.
So that would equally be a major wound, I think, correct? Yes, just over.
It's a knockdown roll, so yes.
So that's for her knockdown. In terms of the being stunned, she succeeds at that.
So she will fall down, though.
But she does go prone.
Told you I'd bring you down to size.
Nellie's turn. So Nellie is going to try to kneel and punch Hori.
She can only kneel.
Yeah, so she's going to get into sort of a kneeling and punch at you.
She won't be able to attack, though. Change posture doesn't allow attacks.
Okay, so she's just kneeling then. Cassandra, you can hear some screaming from inside the mist.
It's no screaming. It's battle cries.
So she finishes readying her sword, and she's like, "Well, nothing left for it," and she'll do a full move towards the mist,
Alrighty.
which for her is 7, I think.
Wow, you're pretty fast.
I think she just gets in there. It's kind of hard to see the grid when it lights up.
Now you get to do the fright check.
Yep. Oh, there's a failure. Oh, sorry, I still had all my mods in.
It's still a
but it
failure.
it's the exact same. So
Okay.
Spend some hope.
I'm gonna. You know what? No, I'm gonna let her have a fright check. We haven't had a good fright result tonight. I'll let the GM have that.
Oh, well, excellent. Alrighty. Fright table.
For just the fright check table.
Yeah, just the basic fright check table.
It's not bad. So she walks in, is like,
Huh?
ah, and stunned.
Okay.
So she'll, I guess, miss the next round.
Stepped in there and said, "What is that smell?" Oh,
Pretty much.
Hamlet.
Where she's on her knees, is her face area. Would that be considered a regular target if I try to cut her face?
Oh, I don't think so. I think you'd still be at your minus.
It'd be -5 to hit the face,
Yeah.
then +1 for size modifier.
Yeah. So minus.
Okay, I'm just going to make a standard attack.
Okay. So she will try to dodge. She's at -2, but +1 for the mist.
Nice.
She
oh
can't.
wow.
my.
She's
She
flat on her
can't.
butt now.
She can't do anything. She's wasted all her hate points, so she falls right back down. Roll your damage.
Come on, ice cream.
Well, that's pretty good.
Not bad.
So that was just to the torso, was it?
Yes.
Okay. So that's 9 points of damage, I believe. 6. All right. So she's at 1/3 her hit points. Caladorn.
All right. To the neck. Telegraphed. She's prone.
Okay. So if she's prone, she's what,
means
minus...
Her defense is -3.
She's also at half move dodge because she's lame.
Yeah, she's at that because you took her down to health.
And
points.
she's also lost a leg.
Okay, damage.
That's pretty lame. So 2 points.
In total, eh?
Yeah, because it's -2 DR doubled.
I guess you
because
get to
it's in
roll on the neck table.
That's true. Hold on. So sad.
Okay.
But hey, any damage is damage.
So she does not fall unconscious.
All right. Hori's going to do another mighty blow.
Okay.
He's going all in.
Damn, I wish I had thought of the mighty blow. I could have done that too.
And he's going to try and embed this hatchet into her skull and end her.
Okay.
I'll just roll the attack to see if it matters and then apply mods after.
Sure.
Okay, so skulls -5. No, that's not going to matter. So that'll hit regardless of mods.
Okay.
She will get +2 to defend due to mighty blow.
But minus
Oh, sorry,
3
not mighty
for
blow. Telegraph.
telegraph. But -3 for being prone.
Yep.
And you said she gets, so she's -3 because she's prone. She's at +1 because of the mist. That puts her to -2. And you're saying she gets a +2 because it
It's
was...
telegraphed.
Okay.
And then there's the potential that I'm in a side X, but
That doesn't matter. She's not going to dodge that.
all right, need
She's
big
totally
damage.
thinking, maybe I won't be able to have more kids.
Nice.
That's a
Nice.
pretty nice damage.
So that was to the head?
That was to the skull.
To the skull.
So,
So
that's
DR4 is
-3.
9.
Is it 4?
Yeah, because she's got 2 DR.
So
Right,
that's
right.
9 times 4, so 36.
Ouch. She's at 59 injury points, so -37 is her health points right now.
So a death roll at least.
I think we are now in just the moot point of mere arithmetic and chance.
Yeah, we're Rodney Kinging her.
Okay, so you smash her skull open. All this black ichor just bursts up and into the air, and you hear this horrible scream cackle as she dies under your hatchet, and the mist fades away. I had to bring her into the fight because I realized this will just have to go to the next session, and I don't want it to go to the next session. So
there's not going to be one next week.
So there we are. We will simply wrap this up with a couple of things, which we're going to have to do after this game. I'll make notes of it. We're going to have to make you all do some shadow tests to see how much shadow you're affected by for the, first of all, attacks by the enemy, as well as witnessing such devilry, this sorcery that you experienced with the Mystic Mist. But you will easily save Diarmoc's family, as well as receive the reward that you found when you discovered Nellie's lair. And
Yeah,
we can,
that reward was the little girl we got to save.
and that will all be things
And the friends we made along the way.
that we can do when I do the next adventure, assuming you guys want to keep playing. In
Should
this
we
setting.
not do the shadow points online or whatever
Yes,
rolls
we
we
should.
need to?
Yeah, we'll do that all online. I think we'll just pick that up in another session before we start the next adventure. And let me, we're just gonna pick that up when we do the next adventure. Okay, what do we got here? I need my outro. All right, here's the outro. So if you're watching this, thank you. And if you have questions, corrections, suggestions, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord.
Or
Please
keep it to
consider
yourself.
please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. And thank you for watching. Olympus out.
Goodbye.
Good night.